This podcast is brought to you by the following
Why don't you go like
sponsors.
this and have lightning come from your hands? Yeah.
I'll just do this.
Effects.
Finishers MMA is located at 3761 Nicholas Street in Easton, PA, Lehigh Valley's home for 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. The amount of people that they have over there instructing is insane. They have J.M. Holland, John Thor Blanks opening up 10th Planet Allentown, Zach Meslaney, Grace Gundrum. It is elite teaching over there. They teach self-defense, no-gi jiu-jitsu, and kickboxing. They have a kids martial arts program that is building and growing, and Grace is teaching every single kids class. Get over there. They are the biggest killers in the game. That's 3761 Nicholas Street in Easton, PA. Do you have anything to interject?
You didn't let me talk. I don't know.
No, I would like trying to get quicker on that. But they have multiple schools, and it's www.finishersmma.com. That has their schedule on there, and it has when they rotate everything. And they have evening classes because if you work and you can't get there, they even have, I think, an 8 o'clock class on Wednesday.
The thing I like the best is that they treat people with respect. It's not like one of those weird places you go and they talk down to you and, you know, like I'm a big bad sensei kind of crap.
No, not at all.
They're super cool guys. Everybody that goes there is nice. Everybody's friendly. It's just a wonderful place to go and learn jiu-jitsu. Wonderful place to go learn choke people.
Yeah.
Just go choke some people.
Every time I've been over there, and I get a little intimidated sometimes going into classes like that, even like going to the gym or like the Y, I get a little uncomfortable, and they make you feel at home there. Super professional. The guys have been doing it for a while. Zach, JM, and Thor all have their black belts. So
and they have crazy top-notch equipment. Everything is awesome. It's not some...
Yep. Every now and then they do
awesome. It's an awesome place.
Seminars and stuff there too. So check it out. It's finishersmma.com, and they are located at 3761 Nicholas Street in Easton, PA. Their social media is everywhere, so you can go find them. And thank you guys for being a sponsor. Taylor Edge Wood Company. Drew Hoagland. They make handmade and local crafting and bringing you gorgeous custom wood design. If you're looking for a custom table, nightstand, countertop, and more, they can help you. Drew made this table and that desk. A lot of people always have asked us who did this, and it was Taylor Edge Wood Company. Their social media you can find is Taylor Edge Wood Co. on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram has a lot of the pictures and stuff. That's the best place to follow them. They just got the website up. It should be running by the time this airs, but that's tayloredgewoodco.com, and he's going to have cutting boards on there. Their T-shirts are really cool. I know they're doing fall shirts for that, and he's just a stand-up guy. He's done nothing but help the show since day one and has really ultimate crafting.
Yeah, if you're looking to get something different for your home and you don't want to have the same boring home with the same boring box store, stupid tables that are particle board that are wrapped in crappy vinyl stuff, check him out. He'll come and give you an estimate, let you pick out whatever you want. He's a crazy nut for black walnut, and he loves the stuff, the smell
He's
of it.
Obsessed with
crazy.
it.
It's a little awkward, but he's very very talented. And like I said, if you want something custom and nothing says that you're cool, then I have a damn custom table and you don't.
Yeah, and you get professional quotes, and he's also got that he's going to be having that on the website where you'll be able to get quotes off of there. So if you're looking for top-notch,
locally sourced.
Yeah, everything's out of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, support local people.
Yeah, so hit them up. You can hit up tayloredgewoodco@gmail.com for any inquiries on what you need. Instagram's a good way to get a hold of him, and he runs it with his wife, so they're super local to us, and they helped us out since the beginning. So please go check them out, and thank you for being a sponsor.
All right, our next sponsor is All Valley Rooter and Plumbing.
Jared LaBarba. I've been friends with Jared for almost my entire life, and he came down to the studio looking to sponsor, and we had a long conversation, and he wanted help building in the Nazareth area. He has a lot of work in the Lehigh Valley, but he specifically wanted to get into Nazareth, and we have a really big reach in Nazareth. It's not a big place, but we do have bigger reach than anyone else here.
We control the whole
We
town.
own Nazareth. But Jared went through his whole story and told me everything he's doing, and his plumbing is top notch. Yes. They do faucet repair, sub pump replacement, sink installation, pipe installation, leaks, toilet repair, and more. They have 24-hour service, 365 days a year. They charge by the job, not the hour. All services come with a 1-year warranty and guarantee. He's going to be our plumber from now on if we have any problems with the sink and whatnot. Yeah. Having plumbing issues is probably one of the biggest headaches ever.
It's one of those things that if something goes bad with your plumbing, it's really bad. There is no minor plumbing issue. And it's good to have someone that's local that you can call, that you know, and say, hey, I really need your help, as opposed to some guy that he's going to spend, he's going to take 3 hours to get there and he's going to show up. He's going to overcharge you. It's just not worth it. Go with a local guy, super professional. He can do everything you really want. He lists a bunch of stuff there, but I'm pretty sure he can do pretty much everything involving plumbing. So I'm just going to call him for everything. So. Whatever.
Yeah, and you have 2 properties that you can use them for now, too, because you didn't have a good experience.
No, they were horrible.
I wish you would say who it was.
I really hate that.
His website is allvalleyrouter.net, and that is the place where you're going to find all of the information you need to get a hold of Jared if you have any plumbing issues, or if you're just trying to get quotes for stuff. But they are 365 days a year. They are open 24 hours, and we want to thank him for being one of our first sponsors on the show. It means a lot, and all you Nazareth peeps or anybody in the Lehigh Valley who wants a trusted, reliable, professional plumber, please contact Jared.
And our next sponsor is Rips Auto Detail. I love this guy. Go ahead.
One of my favorite guests on the show.
Cool. He's a really nice guy. He's a very good DJ also, by the way.
Yes, and he's super professional at his job. He's got over 15 years of experience. He's located at 630 North Nelson Street in Allentown, PA. He does paint correction, ceramic coating, interior, and pro auto detail. If you follow him on Rips Auto Detail on Instagram, it's insane what this guy actually does with a car.
I am recommending that you go to Popeyes, which is right up the street, and you put fingerprints all over your vehicle, and then you go there, and he will make it perfect again.
Yeah, he's got 15 years of experience. He's got a package for everyone. What he stressed on the show is that he doesn't just do super high-end vehicles. Yep. He can do anything from, if you just have a daily driver and you just like having a clean car, you can get that done, all the way up to getting a boat done.
Yeah, well, it's worth it because I had my SUV detailed last year, actually, just because, especially when you live around here with the salt and everything else, if you get a really good detail on it, it actually will keep your car looking better than dealing with all the salt, because you keep going for car washes and stuff. That's not good. So if you get a really good detail on it, it actually will help all that stuff. So it basically winterizes your thing. And plus, when it gets nice out, you just go there and get it, just touched up a little bit, get it, refreshed, and you have a car that doesn't look like you're a slob.
You can contact him directly on Instagram, and that's at Rips Auto Detail, or you can call him at 484-553-1366. If you really want to know what this guy does, check out our past podcast with him. It's got a boatload of information. I didn't know, I knew he was good at what he was doing, and he opened his own business and all that, but to hear the story of how he got to where he's at and the 15 years experience, he's a super pro. He's a really great guy. Just go check out his stuff at Rips Auto Detail on Instagram, Facebook, and his website is coming soon. So go check him out, and he's one of our first sponsors as well. And we couldn't do the show without all these people, so I want to thank everyone. And shout out to Rips Auto Detail, and give him a follow.
And he gives you a free bucket of chicken.
No, he does not.
He's from Popeyes, says he does. Put that in there.
He didn't even like Popeyes.
Rips, you need to give out free chicken. Thank you.
Check out what he's doing on social media, and we won't use that part. And then we'll end it with, this is a professional Class A operation. Check out the podcast we did with him.
Our next sponsor is Luke Delmeyer Custom Knives. If you've ever wanted a custom knife, say a chef knife, say a camp knife, say any kind of cool custom knives, I'm sure any of you guys have watched Forge and Fire or whatever, this guy actually does that. He makes wonderful, crazy knives. He's leaps and bounds above anybody you're going to have around here. He's a good dude. You can contact him and give him basic parameters of what you want to make for our custom knives. He does sell his own knives on his website.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different knives on the website and his Instagram as well.
Instagram, he puts it up a little bit, and he'll say, hey, man, I'm selling this. His website's lukedelmeyer.com. Yeah, I mean, he lists a bunch of stuff. Like I said, you can ask for the custom stuff. He's starting a new line, which you can talk about, of the chef knives.
Yeah, the chef knife that he brought over to the studio was incredible because he showed me the demo one that they started with that he made out of a leaf spring, which is insane. But then what he handed off to me, I immediately just wanted to start prepping and cutting onions.
You were trying to.
I was excited to cook, and that's what a chef knife should do. And if
you
you're
just kept telling him you wanted to use it to cut something.
I did. And if you're looking for a chef knife or any sort of custom knives that you would like in your life for whatever reason, this guy, the amount of work that he's putting behind it, the craftsmanship that's behind his actual craft with blacksmithing, the dude's extremely talented, extremely humble, and please go check out his social media, and it's Luke Delmeyer at Instagram. That's where you're going to get a lot of his knives. He's testing the knives.
But you forgot the coolest part.
What's that?
You want to make your own knife?
Yeah.
He's got classes.
Yeah. That's right.
He has his own classes. You can go there, look like an idiot, because that's what I'll probably look like when I do mine. But you can go there, and he offers classes and teaches you how to make a knife. And I think that's awesome because there is no one and nowhere in this area that does that.
No. And if you're looking for a custom knife of any range, whether it's something that you're just looking for hiking, or if you're looking for a chef knife, or you're just looking to collect something as a hobby, go check out his social media, check out his webpage, get in touch with him, and see which knife is right for you. And that's lukedelmeyer.com. And thank you for being a sponsor. PMR, Precision Maintenance Repair. Precision Maintenance Repair is owned and operated by Doug Silstra. He's a longtime friend of mine and recently moved back to the area and reached out about sponsoring the show. So I'm going to give you some information on Precision Maintenance Repair. It's a mobile RV service that he's been doing for a really long time. He's extremely skilled and qualified in it. He's been in the industry for over 22 years, and he started his own business. So I'm going to give you some information on it. PMR has been working in the RV industry for over 22 years and has the experience and factory training in all areas of RV service and parts. They provide convenient on-site mobile RV repair services to Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton, PA, East Stroudsburg, and the Poconos and surrounding areas. They repair all makes and models of RVs, fifth wheels, toy haulers, truck campers, travel trailers, vans, conversions, pop-ups, horse trailers, boat trailers, utility trailers, and more. All conveniently at your location. So they will travel out to you, and Doug will completely fix everything on site. He does some of the on-site services include electrical, appliance repair, refrigerator service, water heaters, furnaces, roof, basement, air conditioners, generators, RV, bodywork, plumbing, hitches, tow bars, bearing, packs, axles, travel services, electric and surge back services, generators, hitch installation, tow installations, and more. If you are looking for anyone to fix your RV, he will come to you. It's Precision Maintenance Repair, and it's call or text, and that's 484-387-0048, and that's 484-387-0048 for on-site RV service today. You can also find them on RVRepairProLV.com. That's RVRepairProLV.com. Reach out, get a hold of Doug, and I'd like to see his business grow. It's exciting having friends that have businesses, and then when they want to be a part of the show, I try and do my best effort to help them grow. So give Doug a follow, check out his online, and if you have any questions or comments, you can hit me up directly or reach out to Doug. But thanks for sponsoring the show.
Lettuce. 3-4. Lettuce.
Butter.
Super nice.
You recording, Jesse?
We're good.
All
All right.
Never Again Radio, episode 28. I always do that wrong. I can't close the show.
It looks like you're hitting flies.
Yep.
Yeah.
I always just feel lesser when I do that. I feel like I'm not strong. I feel like I'm inadequate. Welcome to Never Again Radio. Welcome back. This is now your first time here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to be polite and have a cordially motherly welcome.
Yeah.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Does that work better?
That was all the moms out there.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Cheers.
How did we start it last time? I just dropped a massive F-bomb and you were
Yeah.
showing it to your mom.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Mom.
And she was
Look what I did.
she loved the content
Yeah.
after the first minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first minute was just a lot of swearing.
Yeah.
And then
But
She immediately wondered why you were hanging out with this caliber
yeah.
person.
And I feel like I may have said a thing or two that was
You,
kind of swearing,
you definitely
but
did.
to my mother, swearing is like
yeah.
crap.
Dang it.
Crap.
I feel like
Dang
you
it.
were overly professional during the interview.
Thanks.
You
Should I
did
be
good.
less professional?
No, I think he should be like good cop, bad cop.
We
Or like
can
he should like
adjust.
rip his shirt off and be like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
And there's
This video thing would really diminish the topless
it's a
me.
lot, I feel like it's a lot more different now that
If you felt
now
powerless
I know
with your
there's
hands,
video.
imagine me with my shirt off feeling even more powerless.
Yeah.
It'd be,
Yeah.
we should do a shirtless episode
Next
maybe
time
over
you
the
guys should
summer.
take your shirt off and jump together to make the laughing sound.
that actually would.
That's not a bad
Yeah,
idea.
I could
I'm
handle
down
that.
to do that afterwards. We can run a couple takes, maybe
Yeah.
try and get
There's
the
a couple
four of
of-
us to do it as
Couple
well.
of I feel like maybe I should respectfully bow out of that.
Yeah, you'd
Why don't you be in the middle and then we make the clapping sound
yeah,
off of
that's
you?
gonna-
Yeah, I have
you'd
a family.
spontaneously combust.
yeah.
I have a
I
family
will.
and shit.
You just that'd be
I will
something to see.
Poop myself.
Do you
if
think?
I'm being-
Do you think that your mom's gonna like this first minute now that it's kind of changed a little
Absolutely,
bit?
she's gonna love it.
You did
She's
say
gonna,
you did
know-
say poop. You dropped a
I
hard
know,
P there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And you're
Sorry,
forcing
Terry.
grown men to be shirtless and run into each other.
This is a good, kick it off with some
Yeah.
deep stuff.
I like it. I like where this is going.
We're getting into the introspective,
Yeah.
psychological portion of it.
Yeah.
But I don't want this to be like an NPR episode.
No,
It's like, hey guys.
Yeah. This is a Tiny Desk concert.
So,
but I wouldn't mind.
I don't
to be
mind
funded
Tiny
by the
Desk
I love
concerts.
Tiny Desk
They
concerts.
did some really
honestly.
cool stuff.
Yeah.
Last time you were on, which I didn't realize, the same as Scott, is it was you were one of the last people I believe to do audio here, and that was 3 years ago.
3 years.
I didn't like that. Just went like that.
That was crazy. Came up on my Facebook, people on my MySpace.
Your memories.
And,
Your
yeah,
MySpace.
and my
no, that
memories.
messes you up. Yeah, because I'll post things like, wow, that was really
That was a long.
time
It
ago.
just popped up, and I
Yep.
was like, oh wow, because you did. It's when you did Tyler. Remember you did two of them. It was like a
Oh,
Sunday.
yeah,
It was like
yeah,
Tyler
yeah,
and then me
that's
right
right.
after. I did like the
So much
when
easier
you had
doing them just audio.
The green screen set up, and you did the promo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to bring
I
that
wrapped
back.
the water bottle.
I like
Yeah.
that too.
That was,
I'd like to bring
that
it
was
back.
cool. That was fun.
There's things that I look at that I forget we used to do, and then there's things that we need to bring back.
Yeah.
Like
But
there's
we don't
definitely
need-
things change.
We
but-
don't need to do like the wall anymore. We can just get one of those kits that you literally just,
Yeah.
it folds up, people stand
Yeah.
on it, and then that's it.
You should just did this whole back wall as a green screen.
Well,
Well,
this you can use
could've
this
just-
still
Well, you
as
realize
stuff behind
that
you the whole
area
time.
over there used to be green, both
Yeah.
of those walls, but it didn't. I don't know. We just stopped doing it.
I was told there'd be a green screen, so I'm rather disappointed. I was
just
told I
takes
could
his-
pick my background.
takes
And,
his-
You just missed
So-
it.
He's like, it's really the only reason
Well,
I got here. Or like,
I guess there's no.
I told
Yeah.
Mark, I was like,
He did-
listen,
It's
like, they got a
you know,
green
this-
screen. You
this-
can pick whatever
Dude, you can
background
do
you want.
whatever you can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You're gonna have a great time. There's a green screen.
was he working
ball
with you when you were here last time?
Yes, yeah, because that was
We
so
were
how-
working at the same place, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
together
is
we're stretching.
Well, how many
things now.
how many people work at where you work in total? I say
there
at one
is-
time.
Is there
7?
7? I think there's 7.
Are we counting the boss?
You just count.
We're on video. They can see.
I can't wait for this to be a promo.
There's so many people that work there. You have to actually think about it. You're like,
Oh, and so Tanya now, and I guess
time.
Well, how much grew since the last time you were on? Because now you're doing apparel, which you were not
Yes,
doing at all.
So
Oh, man.
since
We
we've
have
been
departments.
on last, I'm trying to think. Was Doug on board last time?
Man, I don't remember. I'm sure he was
He had to be
because we've always
because-
offered apparel, but now
Yeah.
we are much more.
Because I was wearing a Scribbles shirt, which I know we printed
Yeah.
in house. So Doug
we're
was
very
definitely
serious
there.
with apparel now. It's
Yeah.
a main department
Yeah.
of ours.
Yeah, no, like that's
It's
what I was
taken
saying.
off. It's really
It
taken
definitely went from like, hey,
I kind of feel that was when you first got it. And you guys
Yeah.
just doing
Yeah.
prints
It
for
was
yourself.
It was super new.
I think
you
yeah.
got
at that time. Yeah.
We were kind of just getting it. It had to. we had to get the client base for it and let our clients know that we were now offering it full time, whereas before we had to like outsource it. So we always kind of offered it and in a capacity of like we could do it for you, but now we're in house and
now it's
pumping out
it's
stuff.
it's a no brainer if you're going to do their whole truck or their vehicle or trailer, whatever.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
to just do
absolutely.
T-shirts and it's
just
basically
took a while
advertising
for
in a
that to
box. You
happen,
show up one place and you're getting everything you need for advertising.
And a lot of people
so that was awesome.
They don't realize that that's like what we offer. People are seeing it now, but it's like a lot of people still come in and they're like, hey, we want a vehicle wrap, and then we're like, you just talk a little bit about shirts, and then like, hey, do you do logos? Do you do business cards? Like, yeah, we'll do everything.
Because you guys have like full, like what you were saying, like full departments. Like you have how many graphic artists are working out of there? Because I know you said that's what you primarily do.
Is me and Nate and Tanya, who's my wife. She works there as well, and Bill. So there's 4 of us staff designers,
right?
And then
Full time,
full time, and then the techs.
Yeah,
we have 3 shop techs who do installations full time, and our production and HR department is the same. Yeah, Lady Dana does that for us, and then we have silk screening, which is Doug. And we're growing. We're actually in the process of getting some new people on board. So
have both of you been there from the beginning of this?
I have.
The beginning is a long time ago.
Yeah. So April, we always obviously joke about this. April 1st would be 8 years for me.
That's nuts.
That I've been there.
How weird is it seeing all this with like departments and it turning into
So the cool thing about, and it's like hard to explain to somebody who hasn't seen it, but the cool thing about it is like, our boss Bill, he just kind of like, if he wants something, he goes after it, and that's it. And he'll say, hey, I'm doing this. And you're on board or you're not on board, but this is where we're going. And if you're on board, you have to be there to see it, to believe it. Everything he's ever told me has pretty much come true. And I'm it sounds ridiculous, but I'm not joking one bit. Everything we've done
those are great people to be working with.
to promising getting everybody more money, because we're getting busier. You work your butt off and you're rewarded. Essentially,
it's peculiar. And to give props to Bill is probably like you think of people in your life that have talked the talk and then failed to walk the walk. But Bill is the epitome of the person that everything he's ever said he's been
like
faithful
buying
with.
an AR for this podcast from my boss.
Yeah, you need one.
He never bought this one.
He's trying to talk his boss into buying a show gun.
Well,
yes.
I mean,
and he's close to doing it.
He said he was like,
I was like, wait, what are we doing? He's like, he's going to buy us like an AR
gun.
kit.
Well, see, there's a
like the Winchester ad in Shaun of the Dead.
No, so listen,
that was the one thing I thought you were missing.
No, so here's how it works, and it's a great promotional thing for him, because I said it's different. The business we're in, it's really hard to advertise on anything,
right?
Because Google thinks we're trash, so we can't advertise on Google. We have to do it really creatively.
Yeah. Google thinks a lot of people are trash.
So
shout out Google.
So then we started going. He actually had a like a router that would give free internet. So when people were in the jail lobby, they'd go, "Oh, look, I got free internet," and would run our ads on it.
Yeah.
So then that worked for a while until somebody went on and started downloading porn, and it crashed it.
One of those topics that we shouldn't talk about?
No.
The illegal free internet from a router?
No, we did it on purpose. It's not really illegal if they can grab it from the air. But then people that live down the street downloaded porn and really mess up the system.
I'll advocate the AR if Scribbles and Drips wraps it. So
could do that.
Here's my plan.
On it.
So there's a wonderful company called Ready Gunner, okay? And you pay so much a month. And I think it was like $75 or $80 a month. And every month they send you something. They send you a piece. The first thing they send you is like the lower receiver. And you're like, cool. And then next month you'll get the lower parts kit. And you're like, oh, all right, cool. I can do that. Then you get the buffer spring. So over the course of a year, you're buying pieces. So at the end, their last one, you make your payment. They send you the last piece. You have a completed AR. So I said, if you advertise $80 a month, every time you get a piece, it will be a part of the show. Like, hey, man, this is Diane's bail bonds AR we're building. Here's what we're doing. And it's literally going to be me putting an AR together. And he goes, that's a great idea. That's something I want to do. That was a year ago. I don't have...
How time flies.
I don't have an AR.
I still can't believe he talked him into that.
So it's like, that's a really good idea.
That was the first thing I thought when I got here. I'm like, why is there no AR
I
here?
told him,
why aren't we
They're
building
missing
right
guns.
next to me, there would be it would say Diane's bail bonds AR built by blah blah blah, and it'd be the whole fucking thing. No,
I thought we were coming.
There's
down
an
here
episode
for,
of The Office where Jim starts sending Dwight pieces, and he thinks he's putting a gun together. So he's like convinced.
It works.
I can't remember
that show.
how it goes.
Oh,
but
what a show!
What a great show!
What a show!
Ac-
These
actually-
guys watch it during lunch all the time, and it drives me insane.
Do you hate the show?
I close the office door. No, just because I've seen them
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like,
No, I
on-
can't watch them anymore.
They're on like
It's
season
Family
2,
Guy.
episode 5.
Yeah.
Well,
and
I
it's
mean-
like, what do you?
Well, no, they're further in. I mean,
Season
either
2,
way,
episode 5, and it's like,
though, it has the loudest opening song in all of
yeah.
sitcom
How many
history.
times are you gonna
whatever
look
it
at
is.
that church in Scranton?
Yeah, it's just so.
Skip
The
intro.
Office.
Skip intro.
Speaking of The Office, our office, Scribbles and Drips.
Yes,
Killer place.
it's a great place. I love it.
It kind of has these vibes, like where we're at.
It does
here
have a
at Never Again
It has
vibes.
a very similar vibe.
No, I like because the front room from the last time we interviewed you, like that used to be what you guys worked out of, correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then now that's primarily the main office that you walk in where you're at, and then behind you in there is where he does the t-shirts.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're actually currently we have renovations happening, so that showroom is going to be all spiced up, and we're gonna really do some cool stuff in there. And
The front room is like the only thing
that hasn't
that's
been.
in there that needs it just
facelift.
It's old.
A
It's been
facelift,
there since since it was opened
2010.
there, obviously. So it just needs a big like the carpets kind of whatever.
Are you guys outgrowing the apparel room?
Yeah, I mean, we built a loft in our garage
Yeah.
that no longer needs vehicles
Yeah.
like triaxles and vans and stuff in it anymore. So
We took the
built a
track
loft there.
off the back garage door in the front building.
Yeah.
And then they just put steps up, and we have a loft, and they store all the screens, and there's a mixing table up there for Hicks and all that stuff, and it just
And we're building an addition on to the side of that front building now. It's like 48 by 30.
right.
It feels like you guys are growing fast and not slowing down at all.
No, so
Like even just seeing the social media, like when the apparel started coming up, and then I was like, damn, these guys are not slowing down. Like every day it's something different, something wrapped.
We still talk about it. This winter has been like insane.
Feels
for
like
us,
May or
and I always kind of resort back to 5-6 years ago before he was there, and some of the other guys. We were like laid off in the winter. I was working 2-3 days a week maybe for like 3 months. And because we just didn't have work, and now it's like.
but
What do
you
you-
think
it's out of control.
that would be the time when people would want to have this stuff done because they're not construction people aren't using their trucks as much.
Yes and no. I feel like
You have a certain
Well,
client base that gets
right.
stuff done in
Yeah.
the winter, but
Right.
the
It's
meat
like-
of it is like April to September.
and snow plowing, so a lot of those landscaping guys use their trucks for plowing,
the
so
dump trucks,
they don't
so-
want to
yeah.
free up the time. And then also at the same time, a lot of those guys don't have as much money as they do in the summer because that's their busy season. So when the money comes in, they want it done.
What do you
and
think
that's-
started growing it so fast? Just the reputation from doing
It's just-
the
yeah.
wraps, and I mean, like getting that township stuff and like vehicles like that. It seems like once that starts coming in, it doesn't stop.
It's a lot of word of mouth, people knowing people really, and
We're almost
and just
exclusively
doing
word of mouth.
Yeah, just doing like we don't do any advertising. We don't have billboards. We don't have airtime. We don't
Your
have
billboards are your work.
Yeah.
Because if you put,
it really is.
we don't do
one of your
anything.
things next to any of the other people that I won't name in Allentown because they don't deserve their name to be mentioned,
Sure.
everyone's going to. I mean, there's a lot of crap, like a lot.
Yes.
I think that we kind of established really early on with us that quality is everything. It's the slogan. We have it on our front garage door, and we were like, as long as we just stand apart from the rest.
Oh, you
The
do.
industry standards like, hey, you stand 10 feet away from it, doesn't look good, and we're like, no, we want people to walk up to it and inspect it.
Right.
And I think that is one of the things that ushered in.
Oh yeah, there was
this
a
new
there was a lady came to my
chapter.
office, and from the window I said, "Oh, you have your car wrapped." She goes, "Yeah, I do like notary stuff and stuff like that. So I just want to get my car wrapped." And I go, "Oh, where'd you go?" And she said the name, and I go, "I don't know who that is." How much did you pay for it? She was like, "It was like $1,200." And I go, "Oh," and I walk out, and as soon as you get within about 10 feet,
Yeah.
you just see all the digital blocks and stuff, and I go, "It looks like you put this on like Windows 98 and printed it out.
Right.
Yeah.
There's
It's bad.
and
I
don't
liked
go for
Windows
that.
98. I thought it was a
No,
good.
you wouldn't have it on your car.
It's a good
I'm a
operating
95
system.
guy.
It's
That
bad.
was a good year. That was like when
MS-DOS.
Encarta was huge.
Ooh, and Microsoft Encarta.
MS-DOS. I love going on my dad's
Getting
old
homework
computer
done
and you
quick.
like hit the MS-DOS menus and you hit like 5 for games. That was the best.
I
Sullivan
ruined
Trail. You ever play Sullivan Trail?
Sullivan
that's
Trail. You
beyond
mean
you.
the Oregon Trail? right?
Oregon Trail,
the
yeah.
Sullivan Trail.
Is that like a
Oregon.
it's like a
And
knockoff
bowling?
of
Yeah, well, there was
Oregon Trail?
bowling, Oregon Trail.
That was part. I remember
Sullivan
in
Trail
elementary
Road.
school, they used to sit there and he would be like, "All right, there'd be all this stuff on the board." He's like, "Type what all this says." Like, what is all this shit? And all of a sudden, it's like you have this little block guy that's like, "It's bowling."
Oh,
Yeah, and then
Man.
what was the other one? Not Carmen San
and now
Diego.
kindergartners
that was a good
have
one.
their own
Was
iPads,
good.
Yeah.
and they're like,
Yeah.
"Yo, get out of here with your MS-DOS." What? I
Yeah.
can program. Look at Google made a program, and now I'm 5, and I'm better than you at.
It's got to be so weird to be
Programming.
able to just do everything.
Yeah, but
like
yeah.
you can
I'm
just see a
7.
rapper.
Yeah.
SoundCloud's all
I'm
you
7.
need.
I just made a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so what? We could beat them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Whatever, computer
Yep.
geek, I'll kick your ass.
It just comes down to that, like,
tie
I
their
just
shoelaces
beat you up.
together.
Yeah.
You and your stupid
Whatever.
computers. I'll beat you with your
I made a
computer.
new game. So
In
what?
1 year, we're gonna have a full completed gun. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, just remember that. We're on that
wait.
program.
Talk shit for 1 year.
You just wait.
You wait till the end of the year.
I'm right at Steve
Now, tell
Buscemi
me-
with the lipstick.
Tell me that
Right
wasn't.
now.
Tell me that wasn't a good
Name.
pitch though. It'd
Yeah.
be great. What the fuck?
It's not a bad pitch.
No,
I
it's gonna be the end
I don't
result.
hate it.
Would be awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
But,
you'd rarely be able to fire it inside, but who cares?
we could definitely shoot that in
This
here.
isn't. I mean, you could.
Listen, I shoot a lot.
Yeah,
It'll get
everyone
used.
take your headsets off. We're gonna be firing this gun.
Well,
That's the promos now as people shoot the gun down here.
Just use have a wall. Bullet, you could sign your name next to a bullet.
Sign your name
that's
on
what
the wall.
Blown
Charging
Deadline
for these
does.
ideas.
What?
He's got one of those catch boxes.
Oh yeah.
So after he Cerakotes a gun, he puts back together. He stands like 2 feet and just fucking lights it up, full auto and shit. And I'm like, wow, that'd be great to have in this.
I would
movie.
never
think,
feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah, what if
Oh,
we
I
go
would.
small scale, maybe BB gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
You can get
those
those
are
little BB gun
dangerous.
traps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a dangerous.
We used to do
Airsoft.
BB gun
Airsoft
wars.
guns, yeah.
Like
Oh,
one
yeah.
pump. We'd always,
Yeah.
hey, one pump. And then I remember my brother got caught in the neck and was like, that was definitely more than one pump.
There's always that.
always stopped it.
Always that guy.
Crazy.
You know?
I look back on it now. We were shooting BB guns at each other in a garage with we had no goggles
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
kids had balls back then.
Yeah.
Well, now they have airsoft, but that shit still hurts too.
Yeah. That does.
Oh yeah.
I played paintball for a while. I like.
Ooh, I like
That was-
paintball.
Oh, I have a paintball gun.
I love
did
some
that.
paintball.
I love it. It's fun.
I mean,
a
I'm
good
not
time.
physically fit enough anymore
Yeah.
to do paintball, but when I was for a brief period of time, it was really fun.
I remember we did it for a class trip, and my dad gave me like this Russian camo he got off of like the internet, and you couldn't see me. I remember like taking it too seriously, and I like laid in a
Crawling
crick,
around,
like just wading in water, and I was like, no, it'll be worth being wet the rest of the day. I'm gonna win. And I was just wet the rest of the day. I think I got hit in the neck.
What do you
All
have
you
to
gotta
see,
do-
Michael?
All you gotta do is you just twist the canister a little bit so it goes, because that's what happens when you're empty.
Yeah.
And everybody would jump up and they just go boom, 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 and then sit back down.
We should
Let a little
play. I
air
haven't
out.
played that in forever.
That's a serious
I don't-
tip.
I would run for. I'd take 10 steps, and I'm like, guys.
That's what I'm saying. I would just
That's
lay
what
in
I'm saying.
water.
What if we all take a 5-minute break?
Why don't we just play like a beer league? We'll all go to the bar
Yeah,
first, drink
okay.
a lot,
I like
and then
that.
because then no one's gonna run.
Yeah.
If you
yeah.
run, you're just gonna get hurt.
Yeah. One of our buddies just
Lot of
recently
shuffling.
had a bachelor party, and they were up at Skirmish, and I wasn't there, but you're talking about beer league
Yeah.
and going to the bar or whatever. So they were drinking all day, and they had played Skirmish, and somebody took a paintball like through the mask, like through the mesh, and it just
Yeah.
splattered on his face. And he's been drinking all day, and they just they have a video of him. Then middle of the game, just takes his thing off, and he's just puking.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get drunk and run around.
Yeah,
No way.
We're not gonna run. We'll just shuffle a lot.
No way.
Not me.
I'm gonna.
I'm in.
Oh, they're sweating. I hated my goggles constantly were steamed up, and I'd have to stop to
we don't
clean it.
necessarily have to play in summer.
No, we could actually just play here, down here.
See, that's why you need an indoor spot. You need like the empty warehouse.
You know what's crazy?
I went to
now
a
that
great
we're
indoor
this is,
spot once
this
in
is
Rochester,
not,
New York.
off topic, but not off topic.
Yeah.
You know where Archery Addictions used to be in Wonderful? Like, we did all this stuff because I know that's like they moved out. That would be the ultimate. If they did
should
paintball
do
there.
indoor paintball.
Yeah.
What did you do for
those
Archery
big
Addictions?
inflatable boundaries and stuff.
Yeah, the speedball courses or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, you could do. They had so much room. You could do 2 speedball courses in there. That'd be cool. We did years ago. We did logo for them. Like, we did their outside, all their like outside signage, inside signage. They had some signage up on the walls in there.
So you guys can basically do branding over there as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh man,
Now we can.
we're a one-stop shop.
We
I
can do
mean,
everything
we can
now.
just
We
we
really
could.
can.
I didn't know that that's like you were that far into like graphics and stuff like that. Because I
Yeah.
mean, we just focused on the wrapping
Vehicles,
and like
wraps,
kind of the business last time, but I didn't know that like a business could come in there and get a logo done and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And what's the process of that? Does that go through both of you?
So back in the day, I was essentially doing what Mark is doing now, and that's like being at the front desk, answering phone calls, taking work orders, deposits, responsible for photos, everything that, gathering logos, gathering all the resources, everything that we need, all the information, and then either handing it off to Bill or myself, and handling it from there. But now that I'm really not doing that, I'm primarily in the back shop in the new one, and Mark has now basically taken my spot, and he's handling all that. So I'll let you kind of
Yeah, I mean,
explain what's happening.
Somebody comes to Scribbles and Drips, and say they have nothing. They just started a business, and they need everything. They need an image, branding. We take it from nothing and make it something. Concept to completion.
Yeah.
And that's typical now for a lot of our new clients when we get a new client, and a lot of our existing clients continue to utilize our art services for rebrands and
Yeah.
and
Well, I
to
think
just
it's
spice
also
things up.
A lot
for
of
sure.
people that don't know that stuff, and they might be business savvy as far as doing what they do, but
Right.
when it comes to logos and not understanding layering and different levels of stuff, they might just be like, how many people are stuck out there like construction companies that just have one
yeah.
color
Yeah.
with
Oh,
lame
yeah.
ass shit, and you're like, dude, like, do you know what I could do?
Sure.
And then you show it to
people
them, and
don't
it's
know,
like,
yeah.
holy.
That's usually it. They walk in and they say, "Hey, I do this.
Yeah.
You do that.
Yep.
Make us look good.
Yeah.
We do paving, or we
Yeah.
do landscaping, or we do anything. We're HVAC or whatever, and
Yeah.
this is what we do professionally. Make us look good. You guys are the artists. Take it from here." And that's our favorite kind of customer.
Definitely.
Yeah.
For sure.
And a lot of those.
Good.
No, I was going to say a lot of those customers are usually people with my experience working with clients like that is like, I don't want to fucking deal with any of this. I just want to pave. I just want to cut grass
yeah.
and
No.
just
That's the
do it.
Yeah,
Well,
100%. That's the
and I'm glad at least, like, I've seen the artwork that you guys have done, and it's cool. But there's another I'm not going to mention their name, who did our work sign, which I had nothing to do with because otherwise I would have called you. Well, I did have everything to do with it after
all right.
they contacted this place. That's one of these, you buy into the company, you can run off their name kind of thing, if you know who I'm talking about.
Got it.
So my boss goes, hey, I'm getting
lost.
the box outside.
McDonald's.
yeah.
Yeah, outside. Yeah, McDonald's burger. But outside, and he goes, hey, I sent a thing. I just told him like kind of what I wanted, and he's going to send back a proof. And he sends it back, and I go, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. And I goes, oh, well, they told me I get one change. And I go, well, considering he used basic lettering, like they give you the crappiest version, so that you'll say like, well, I want this, and any change after that is like $175.
Yeah.
So if you don't know anything about anything, you're going to do that
Right.
2 or 3 times.
Right.
End up paying more money. So I took what he had, I designed it myself, and I sent it back to him in the right format.
Yeah.
And the guy called and said, who did this? And I said, I did.
He's like,
I-
"Are you looking
I
for
did
a
it."
job?"
No,
We're
He's like,
hiring.
will you
They-
take my business?
Can you
No.
work here, please?
The guy goes, what are you doing? I said, I used to do vinyl back in the day. I still have all the stuff. And he goes, oh, yeah. He said, have you ever thought about doing it again? And I said, no, I don't want to do it. I hate it.
Not for you.
And I said, I definitely wouldn't do it
Sure,
for you.
crappy
So the guy
artwork.
comes, he literally cut it, and he just goes, well, okay. And I go, no, we don't need any more changes. Just do it what I did. I already designed it. You literally can hit cut, and it'll fucking cut everything you need.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, okay. And when the guy came in, he goes, this is a cool design. And I go, yeah, thanks. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, I did it. Your guy, I sent a picture. I go, this is what your company sent me. Man. And the guy goes, that's embarrassing. I said, yeah.
You're a tough customer. We get those customers every once in a while, and they come in and they're like, hey, listen, I've been designing personally at home. I have a Cricut. I've made a couple of mugs and stuff. So I know what you guys do. You basically, your clip art, and your...
Yeah.
You got your fancy, you got 2 monitors in front of you. Well,
Yeah.
But we actually put a lot of effort into what we do artistically because everybody there, with the exception of our boss who just has years of experience, we all have degrees in design and we art is really the central motivating factor for everything that we do. So it's not like your typical chain.
But can you imagine that's what they get away with?
Yeah.
The standard consumer does not always know. They're not educated about what they can really get.
Here, I'm going to give this stupid design to this dummy.
Sure.
And he's going to go, wait, I don't know. Maybe change this. And they'll change one little thing, and he'll look at it and go, well, this looks kind of plain. What if we do this? Well, that's $175. And then every time
how do you guys work with a customer as far as because you have to cut it off to a point so there's not 900 emails back and forth. But I mean, do you through the whole process, do you consult with him, or do you guys kind of have a meeting when you got a bigger client and you got to do all this branding, or do you guys know enough that at this point where you can
we're fairly transparent with people. So before all that, when somebody comes to Scribbles and Drips, they usually already have some idea of I've heard of these guys. I know that artistically they're going to give me something that is worth paying for, and we kind of have a certain reputation. So it's kind of like if you go to a really popular tattoo artist or something who people have told you about, and you've seen his work, and you're like, wow,
Flash or something.
He's not going to be the cheapest guy on the block, but I know I'm going to get what I pay for.
Yeah.
And we're essentially that shop. So after that, we're pretty transparent with people. We say, we're going to give you a certain concept or a number of concepts, and we're going to work off an idea that you give us, and we do a pretty good job of the first rendering and the first concept, get it really close to the mark. And if for some reason it's not there, we'll take it from there. And most of the time
you're going to have people that are never happy.
Sure. Right. Sure. Some people are not satisfied.
Those are actually the customers that, and because Bill says this all the time, those are we kind of pride ourselves a little bit in dealing with those customers, the hard to please customers, because if you can please them, you can please anybody.
You also learn a lot where if a client is unhappy with one thing, you kind of log that into your memory, and then when you're dealing with the next client, you're like, all right, well, I can skip this step because he obviously had an issue. So it's it almost makes you a better worker because now you're overly trying to hit the mark so you don't run into that client again.
Making adjustments and I don't know.
Being able to read somebody artistically is another thing. You've been doing something for so long that when somebody comes to you with feedback and they're like, hey man, I was kind of thinking it should feel more, something, and you're like, you interpret that, and if you're not artistically inclined, it might be difficult to interpret what somebody says. But when you do something long enough, you're like, oh, I get it, you want it to, this or that more, and you just have this lingo that you understand what they're trying to mean, and then you just,
I think a big an important part of our job, and something that we do a lot really, is just education. There's a lot of people we don't necessarily take every job that comes through our door. So someone will come in and wanting something, and we're like, hey, listen, we're not really, a business needs to make money, but we're not in it for the money, essentially. Someone's coming in and they're like, hey, I want this, and this, and I want you guys to do it. And we're like, hey, I would advise against this because this is a bad material, or you shouldn't do this, or this is a bad idea for this reason, or this is going to fail because you want to go around this corner. And a lot of times those customers, you get a little back and forth in the beginning, but a lot of times by the end of that conversation, they're very like, oh, thank you so much for educating me, because other shops just took my money and
you're going to know what works and what doesn't.
Right.
Because, I remember this was years ago, back when people used to have magnets on their doors and shit.
Sure.
And this dude was like, yo, I want my construction. And he goes, I want to do a construction thing. And I go, all right. And he's like, well, design something. And I go, well, I'm going to need something more than just design something.
Yeah.
So I did this whole thing, and he goes, oh, cool, I like the logo. I go, all right. He goes, I want a black magnet. I want really dark blue. And I go, no one's going to see the lettering on it. And he goes, no, man, that's my colors, black and dark blue. And I go, cool. how about we make the magnet dark blue? And we try to put black over it. And he goes, no, man, that's what I want. And I said, all right.
Yeah.
He paid me the money. I gave it to him. He puts it on. He goes, you can't even fucking read it. And I go, yeah. Which is what I said. But, there's people like that they just, that's my colors, man.
Yeah. Sure. And we go to great lengths sometimes to educate people and to steer them away from poor ideas because it's us.
Yeah.
It's our reputation. So, and with that reputation came the ability to assess jobs when they come in and give people advice on whether they should or shouldn't do something. And then the trust that you build after a successful job. So all of our return customers have had great success with us. So they no longer, they gave us the reins, It's
that's a good thing. And you guys are good with doing different styles of stuff. Like you don't do the same kind of cookie cutter stuff that, like, you know what I mean? Like you guys are all over the place, but
each
it
job
all works.
that we do, we try and make unique to that client.
Which is awesome.
And that gives them that, reassurance that nobody else out there has. Especially, in this area, obviously in the Lehigh Valley, nobody has what they have.
It satisfies us. It's like fulfilling. Like you do one project one day, it's like super edgy and like nuts and off the walls, and then the next day you're doing something super conservative and clean, and you kind of got to fulfill that artist in yourself.
I mean, even just watching the social media, you have so many different projects coming in and out, and one's normal, and then you have the chrome car, and it's
and you
cool.
got that sweet Audi. Who designed the Audi?
So the Audi, it's funny because we were talking about this on the way.
It's awesome.
I wanted to bring the
actual car
magazine. I wanted to bring the car. Ryan wouldn't allow us to take it. No, I wanted to bring the magazine in because it's pretty cool. It's a front page spread and there's like 2 or 3 pages in there. Josh Cole, he took the photos, which is awesome. He does great stuff. We love having Josh. Josh takes amazing photos for us. But so it's just funny because previous client, it was the Audi that we did in the satin black.
Yeah.
And he had actually got sideswiped by a deer, a large buck, and it looked like aluminum foil down the side of his car. And that body, it's an RS7 and it's like all aluminum body and had to be, specially welded and all that stuff. Some Porsche dealership down in Philly or something like that did it, and it took forever and the whole car had to be repainted. It was a giant mess, but long story short, it took us 7 months from start to finish to do that design.
So you're working on that while all this other shit's going on?
It was all just in between stuff. Like Ryan would stop in every now and again, and then him and I would thrash on a design a little bit and be like, all right, I love it. Let's do this, this, and this. I was like, okay, I got other stuff to do. I'll make these changes.
So now, are you showing him this on like the computer?
Yeah, he'll come up to like the back shop. At this point, he's essentially family, and he just kind of like comes back and
he's a great.
We hang out, whatever, and we thrash through some stuff, and then he leaves and whatever. But we started it in like last, I don't know when it was, February or something like that. And then we like finished it in September.
Yeah,
like, it was like a ridiculous amount of time, but. It was cool because obviously we got the magazine's called Signs of the Times, which is like, it's a cool magazine.
It's a popular industry magazine. A lot of shops get it.
Yeah.
So that landed on a lot of people's.
So that was cool. And then they did something on social media for us. Like
could you
Instagram
could you tell the blowback from it? Like, could you see that if you were getting more clients because of the magazine?
We got a lot. I feel like we got a lot of hits. We got a lot of likes and a lot of cool support and stuff like that from it.
It definitely heightens our impressions of people searching us online and just checking us out.
That we did get out of it, which was neat, is our supplier, the material that we use is now we've switched and now we use Arlon material. But they reached out to us personally, and now they're actually using Ryan's car in all their marketing material. Which is pretty awesome.
Their stock marketing is a car that we wrap. So
that's pretty cool.
It's pretty lucrative how all of this falls together, and there's so many working parts. And then hearing about it, you see how the business is growing so fast. Where it's like you're doing normal stuff like pavers and landscapers and all that. Then you have the opportunity to do things like wrapping that car, and then all that coming out of it, and then getting all that content. So it keeps you away from just being the social media where they're just, all right, cool, they did an ambulance again.
Yeah.
Like you guys really get the chance to step out.
Every once in a while we get to do some really neat projects, and I somehow end up doing those.
But that stuff really separates you guys from others.
That's the stuff that we always say, like, that's so the basic stuff that we do, like, that's the bread maker, But the custom stuff is the stuff in the industry I want us to do that's going to put us on the map.
Yeah.
I want the project to be 100%, and I want no corners cut, nothing like that, and we'll spend the extra time on it because that's important to us because we want someone. Going out all the shops that whatever we won't mention in this area or anyone that's going out that sees our work that can say, oh, we know that Scribbles and Drips, or we don't need to get up close to it. We know it's perfect.
Sure.
You're never the perfect guy.
Yeah. That's kind of how it is now.
You mean you don't just cut and then just kind of shove it in the cracks?
Yeah.
We're actually at a disadvantage.
Well,
believe it or not, there's things that we've done that most people don't even know about because we don't have a social media manager.
Right.
We don't have someone to do. We're so busy.
Who runs it?
Me and
Both of
Nate.
us.
How annoying is that? It's a nightmare.
You just don't
It's
have
tough. It's tough.
the ability. Like we're so
busy.
that we
It's
can't
hard to,
update it properly.
Stop and be like, oh man,
did it post
didn't
today?
put something on Instagram today.
Yesterday was probably
it's tough.
during the day. I was like hitting it heavy. I had time, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna start trying because you figure out different ways to do it. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna start running the promos from the sports show, but I'm also gonna overload it with like Scott Straka, and then I also have the sweatshirt. So it's like there was a ton of content, but then like halfway through doing it, I was like, Jesus Christ, I've been here for an hour and a
takes
half.
so
This
much
is a
time.
motherfucker.
Even just like going through your phone and
just the
taking
stupid
photos,
shit I
Figuring
have
out
to
what you're gonna do.
It's a
and then-
full-time job for somebody.
Like when I cut those promos, I have to drop those in Dropbox in a specific format that'll play on my phone. Then from Dropbox, I have to download it onto my phone, then upload it onto Instagram. Then you have to cut. If you go over a minute, like it's fucking, it's
tough.
It's work.
And then it always like it makes the quality of the video look trashy.
Yeah.
It's like
if you don't
can't
take
get
the
around it.
appropriate
It's like,
time.
and then there's so many things about it. I feel like I could go on about,
Sure.
but you just try and produce nice product and try and take a half decent photo. Like I would love to just have Josh come in and take photos all the time and only post those photos on our social media
incredible.
because he, when you post his stuff on social media, I mean it
His stuff's
But
ridiculous.
that's the kind of
It's
thing. Like
insane.
you have a kind of business that it's kind of hard to explain the extra steps you do.
Yeah.
That other people don't do.
Yeah, they don't
see it. They don't know that you literally have to take everything apart.
right.
They don't know that.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
tell them,
Yeah.
but I don't think they realize that
They don't
like these other
understand,
people are literally cutting and stuffing it in there.
Right.
And
And
that,
it's funny that you're saying that because this is something we always joke about, and quite honestly, and maybe this isn't industry standard, but we'll go with it anyways. We are not certified in any way, shape, or form, and we actually pride ourselves on not being certified.
Because you can get certified by a manufacturer like Avery or 3M.
Yeah. That's all
Yeah.
it is.
And
It's this.
Sure it is.
It's a little
It's just
sticker
money.
you put
You
in the
pay-
window.
that's what I'm saying. That's the
Yeah.
only thing you get a little sticker.
You pay
That's it.
And you get put on
$1,000
like a
and you're good to
list,
go.
and of
Right.
course
Sure.
people can hire you
Right.
based off that list. But
But are people really looking and going, "Hey, man, I'm a strictly Avery guy"?
There are people that are like, hey,
some big companies.
we're only like we need 3M. Like there are companies that have
Sure.
guidelines like it needs to be 3M and it needs
Well,
to be
that's
a 3M
like school
certified
buses and
installer.
shit. That kind of stuff
Yeah.
has to be 3M, correct?
or just a large commercial company where they have really strict
Reflective
guidelines, and they're
stuff.
like,
Yeah.
we only send our stuff to 3M certified technicians, and they'll hire somebody off the list in the local region or
Yeah.
something.
And
But,
so
you
in
know.
that case, maybe sometimes it bites us, but I would say 0.5% of our work maybe had been declined from not being certified.
Move the mic out a little bit. I think. There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
I think it hasn't hindered our growth.
No,
No, but
not
it's
at
what
all.
it
Not
would
at
be.
all.
Like I said, there has to. You got to find a way to do that because I don't think people realize any of that stuff.
No.
Like they don't understand that that's literally like the people that are out there selling that crap to these other people are basically the same people doing like little midget race cars that they literally slap it on and they cut around the bolts and they just kind of stuff it down and just go, there you go, and it's good because they know they're going to go out into a racetrack and get smashed into and come back the next week.
That's how you become certified. That's what they teach you.
That's-
we had a
We don't do that.
I wish I was joking.
They would tell you,
had
to do
a,
something, we're like, yeah, we don't do it that way.
We had we had people come in from a supplier that we no longer use, but they came in and they were like, hey, listen, and they were pushing, hey, you guys got it, because they love our shop and they come in and they're like, oh, this is great. We want to host a certification here and we want to do this and that, and this is, this is the best facility, and you guys can get certified for free. And I was like, okay,
Could you just show them your work and they can just go,
no,
you're good.
well, yeah, and they see it. They come in and they're like, oh, whatever, and they're not going to say it, but then they're like, oh yeah, well, we have this guy come in, and this is what you got to do. You got to wrap this door in 30 minutes and you can't remove the door handle and you can't do this and that. And I was like, and I looked at him and I was like, well, why would I want to do that? He was like, oh, well, it's profit, whatever. I said, well, it doesn't matter because no matter what we do, 99% of the time we're taking your door handles out.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Or we're
if
doing
putting,
something that another shop
yeah.
is just going to take the
Right.
path of least resistance where we're like,
Yeah.
we don't put that product out. That's not our customer.
We're going under your door handle. We're going behind your
Yeah.
door handle. We're not going around your door handle.
No.
Like that's ridiculous because nowadays it takes our guys 5 minutes to take a door handle out.
Sure.
Why
Yeah,
would if you can spend 5 minutes taking a door handle out and it saves you an hour down the road because I'm not sitting there cutting around your door handle
Sure.
and then it looks ridiculous. Why would I cheap a customer out of that work when
Yeah.
I could make
And
our
the thing
work
is,
look
once you
like
do
paint?
it too, you can pick all that stuff out.
Yeah.
So if you go up to other people's work, you can walk up and go, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, instantly.
Oh.
You see where they
Oh.
they didn't take the time to do something.
And they're also
Properly.
the cheaper companies are using cheaper products.
Sure.
So all of a sudden it's like they have this beautiful little thing done and they're like, I have all these chips all over.
Yeah.
And it's like, how long have you had this? Like a week?
Yeah.
You could have a shop that buys the top of the line material. They could buy the same stuff as us,
Sure.
everything. But if your technician, if your installer isn't taking the time to actually perform like the craft,
Yeah.
and have the craftsmanship put into it,
Yeah.
then you're just going to get a product that's going to fail. It's not going to last as long, or you're going to have somebody has issues down the road. They're going to come back. They're going to end up knocking on your door and saying, "Hey, what's the deal with this? This is doing something that's unusual," and then you're stuck with that. And us, we specifically do things to avoid that.
Yeah, why would you want any of that shit?
Right.
You don't.
Exactly.
People are like, what are your guarantees? What are your warranties? And we say, it's our name. If you run into anything, you come back. And
Exactly.
usually if they come back, it's just to have another project.
If they come back, it's because they
it's
want
'cause they're
something
getting
else
something
done,
else.
or they just whatever. I mean, to thank us, anything like that.
yeah.
We've had. I mean, we're a business, so you have unsatisfied customers no matter what.
Sure.
Some people are hard to please, but they come back and we always make it right, and they end up leaving happy or happier than when they even originally came in.
Sure.
Which is awesome. Which is something that we also pride ourselves in. Which is
How hard is it with you guys setting a standard and doing it that way to even find anyone that remotely wants to take the job serious, especially with younger kids
It's
being the way they are?
that is probably
That'll
the
be
most,
the nicest way I can put it.
No, it is. It's
Yeah.
probably the most difficult thing we face right now is we're growing so rapidly that we're trying to hire and we can't find anybody who's willing to work, who's willing to learn, who's coachable.
Yeah. Who wants to take it as a serious job that they'll stay at?
Who's respectful.
Oh yeah.
And wants to do their job and is serious about their job and is willing to learn. I think that's
How much
work
time do you
ethic
guys
is huge.
waste showing someone how to do something and then they just don't come back?
Well, we used to. Our team is fairly solid, right? Like we don't just we don't currently just let anybody in. A
couple summers ago we
went
had
through
10 people working with us before the new shop was built.
Yeah.
So it was 10 people down in that small area. Mark that was right around the time Mark was coming on board.
I was one of the initial
and,
people.
So now, and then we were down to like 5 at one point, and now we're back up, to like 8 of us now. So we in one summer we rolled through like 5 different
So do you
people.
are you looking for people that have experience in it when you hire?
Preferably yes, and if they don't have experience, we just want somebody who's enthusiastic, who kind of like has that car background, kind of a little bit of I know a gearhead is like kind of a ridiculous thing to say now, but
believe it or not,
I use it all the
somebody
time.
if you know a lot about
big Fast and
cars,
Furious guy here, we all know that, big Vin Diesel guy.
You'll benefit from having a mechanical aptitude.
Yeah.
Like if you have some sort, if you have the ability to use your hands gracefully, like you're going to probably do well, especially if you can learn something without being repeatedly told. Like if you have great,
It's because I think it's because you understand lines. You understand how things look. You know
body
what I mean?
lines and
you know what I mean. You understand how things run,
The aesthetics
how it forms.
of vehicles, what looks
Because
good,
you
what
know how many
doesn't.
people back in the day when Fast and Furious the first one came out, and people are like, "I'm going to put stripes in my car."
Absolutely.
And how many times did it take them? Like 18 times.
They
to
bought
go,
the kits.
Why
off
doesn't
the-
this?
Fast and Furious
Why
kit,
doesn't this line up? Because you're
lasers,
fucking
the-
good.
the rally
isn't
stripes.
A flat, isn't a
guy
square
with the
box.
laser
Oh yeah,
sword.
and I mean we tell people
but-
we have
blue
people
stripe
that
out the back.
do all the time. They want us to do something and they think it's just like you're putting a straight line on my vehicle. It's
no.
like no, you're seeing a straight line. We're not putting a straight line on it because the vehicle has it's a 3-dimensional shape with compound curves. So it's like It's a lot more intense.
It's
Dude,
a
I can
lot
tell
of,
you. I mean, I can tell you when I had years ago, I had an older Porsche and I had to get a back window tinted. And I go, I'll do it. You know,
Oh, I
I'll do
remember
it.
that in high school, the bubbles.
Yeah, until I realized
what kind of Porsche?
it was a 944.
Oh,
but it was
I did 924. That was my first car.
11,000 miles. When
Really?
I bought it. Yeah. Wow. Oh, it was perfect. But I go, yeah, I'll do the
944s
back
are cool,
one.
though.
But that window literally bubbles this way and then bubbles this way.
yeah.
So I was like, I couldn't get
What we
it
in
to
the industry
do
would call
anything.
a compound curve.
And I went, whoa, I can't. So I drove in.
very
I
hard.
drove into the guy and I go, hi, I need to do this. And he just starts laughing. He goes, how many times did you try it? And I go, I'm not going to say.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'll do it. He's like, I got to hit you. It's going to be like $250. And I go, that's fine.
That's
but
fine.
he
Do
did
it
it
right.
in like 2 hours and I couldn't. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, that's not
It's
even
worth
fair.
the money. You know,
It's not
you
even
get what
fair.
you pay
It's tough,
for.
man.
Oh, I went through $150 just in my own tint
Yeah.
to try to get. I couldn't.
I forgot people in high school would try and tint their cars.
All the
no one
time.
ever did it correctly.
We don't even tint.
Yeah, I was going to
we
ask
don't
if you
offer
guys
tinting.
even fuck
It's
with
a
tinting.
nightmare.
Here's the cool thing about there's a lot of wrap shops out there, and this is something that that we are pretty adamant about. There's a lot of wrap shops out there that they're like a jack of all trades. They're getting into paint protection film. They're getting into ceramic coating, detailing, all that stuff. We do not do that.
No.
We do one thing. And
I think it would just
and we
slow
do
you
one
guys
thing
down.
well. Yeah, we don't have the time to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, you can't start
So-
offering that stuff.
And we deal
at our
closely
capacity.
with two other businesses. We use Joe Levan from OCD Detailing up in Ness, who is good friends with Mark.
Yeah.
Rip Nuts, So if there are two people, the only two people that I would ever let touch my car in this area, and that would be Joe or Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it, because they are
Shout out to Rip Nuts. He's awesome.
They're
He's
magicians
awesome.
when
Yep.
it comes to that stuff. They're incredible. So
Yep.
we use Joe, and then we also use EJ from Rock Guard.
Yeah.
He does all our paint protection film, and he is also a magician at what he does. So if somebody comes in and they want paint protection, like, hey, you guys do paint protection, right? No, we use EJ.
Yeah.
Go here, tell them Scribbles and Drip sent you. And they kind
And
of
we
have this
don't
triangle
recommend
name,
people.
so
Like
it's
we do not recommend. Those are the only two recommendations we ever make to people because
yeah.
it's
not worth
it's
putting your name on it.
Yeah.
Just
Well, it's the same
send
thing.
them
Yeah, and if
somewhere
you
else.
recommend somebody and they do a horrible job,
Yeah.
it looks bad on you.
So
Exactly.
That's why those are the
Exactly.
only two recommendations we ever make.
Yep.
Yep.
And I think tint wise, we use
Tint-
Black Diamond.
Black Diamond
Yeah,
tin is really
Kyle from
good.
Black Diamond.
Kyle's exceptional
Yeah,
in what
he
he
does
does.
a-
That's
they
an,
come-
that's an art in itself. Those
Yeah.
tools are just.
He came
Kyle,
to us with a wrap, and he wanted us to wrap his van, and we discovered his business through ours, and had a mutual friendship through that. And he's a mobile tinter, and he does exceptional.
He's incredible.
So will he come out? Is he ever coming out to you guys and tint it while you have the vehicle?
When I
that
bought,
works too.
Recently, when I got my new vehicle, he came in. He's like, "Hey, what do you want?" I told him. He's like, "What do you have?" And he like cuts it. He pre-cuts it. And he came in like super professional. Came in with a ladder with this like piece of glass on it, and like put the tint on it, sprayed it down. Like had my like door panel off in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And everything was like pre-cut, and he just sprayed it down and like put it on. He's like, "All right, you're good." And he was in and out in like 25 minutes. Did 2 front windows, and it looks like factory. Better than factory.
He's
You know,
like
he
the
just-
Scribbles and Drips of tinting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he always looks good. He's got the whole outfit, a sweet wrap
Yep.
on his van. Like,
They got cool
he
like
takes
gray
himself
and
serious.
neon green
Yeah.
colors, and
green,
I know he's like a motocross guy, so he's big into that.
Yeah.
Like the bright colors, Monster Energy.
He's actually a police
Love
officer
Monster.
too.
Oh, yeah,
he's a
was,
police.
yeah,
I think he might
You
be
a fucking
retired.
cop?
but-
yeah, I think.
Oh yeah.
you
He was like, he does tint, but he's a cop. Like, are you
Yeah.
allowed to do both of those? Like,
Yeah,
isn't one?
but he'll pull somebody over after they leave.
yeah, he doubles
I
up.
forgot getting pulled over for tint was
Yeah,
a
what are you
thing
getting?
too.
You got
Just
it?
tint my windows.
Got it.
Certain
Right.
places, certain towns like Bethlehem's really bad.
Tatamy stopped me.
Tatamy.
Yeah. There's like, you got to take all this off tomorrow. Come back.
Who
I'm
knew
like,
that's
what?
still a town, right?
Yeah, not anymore. They just built all that shit over there and ruined it.
All this is a warehouse now.
Yeah,
Tatamy.
but they're
One
putting in
large
like
Amazon.
full developments. It's going to be
Tatamy
crazy.
is a warehouse.
Academy's
Yeah.
one large
Academy's a
Amazon
warehouse.
warehouse.
Yeah.
And the parking lot.
My friend moved out of there because of all that shit coming in. They ruined the town.
Well,
I've been protesting with signs
have
and
you?
whatnot.
Yeah. What does it
sound
say?
like
really
they're
upset.
What does it say on your sign?
Stop it.
Stop it.
Just stop it.
Well, the bad part
It's a lot
is,
of
brings it to
explaining
every
on my
page.
part.
Banner, like
no, the bad part is I know the people that are selling off all the land. So I always, so I tell them all the time.
are they?
They'll go to these meetings.
Give
No,
us
I always
their
make fun
names.
of them, and I go, I'll see you at the
And
meeting
addresses.
next week. I'm standing with the people. So these people just keep complaining, and he was just like, all right, fine. Like, you don't want us to put that over there? He goes, tomorrow I'm going to put 3,000 fucking pigs in a pig farm.
There you go.
And then we're going to see how you like putting the pig farm there, because I'll put that there. And they're like, well, you can't do that. He goes, yes, I can.
Yeah.
So it's either let them build. They got tons of money.
Right. Field of Dreams.
But I told him I'm going to protest against them.
I wouldn't mind a piggy farm.
Let them know if they need a wrap, send them our way.
Yeah. Oh, they got loot. They got loot.
They do. Those warehouses definitely.
Down here in the corner.
Yeah, so the sign said stop it. I think I'm making a change.
You are.
It sounds like you're making big steps.
I was actually going to talk to you guys about helping me make
A stop
bigger
sign? You should make a, yeah, it needs a stop sign.
funny.
The
We
other
can
day I
make
ran
very
into one
large
of the
signs.
developers, and they were like, yeah, there was this weird guy out there with this stop it sign, and it just made us change our mind. We are no longer building, and we will
We
leave.
saw the error of our ways.
We will leave.
We will leave Tatamy because you have convinced us your sign was so compelling.
He was
It's
like,
like the
it
end
was
of
an
an 80s movie.
existential stop it. Like I stopped things in my own life. Stop
It
it
wasn't
became
just
like
it was
it's
so much
big
bigger
now.
than the sign.
No more sugar, sweets. No,
That's your next
outta
shirt.
here.
You do never again radio, and then like, stop
Yeah,
it. And that's
stop
like
it.
your
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it right now.
with like a little sign, like in the grass, with like the
Yeah.
little things of grass.
and then have like the fields over in Tatamy in the
Yeah,
background.
with like a half-built warehouse.
yes.
just the frame of the warehouse,
Some
dilapidated.
cobwebs. Yeah, I like it. Maybe Dirty Mike and the boys in the corner.
Ooh,
Oh.
that's such a good time.
Yeah. And the Prius.
Soup kitchen.
Yeah.
Dirty Mike and the boys.
Soup kitchen.
Have you guys done anything else for the guy who did the Chrome car?
No, they kind of like disappeared off the map.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to them. From my understanding, there was like a falling out between the two of them, and then that's kind of where.
Yeah. I didn't know if like anyone else was throwing you like crazy projects like
No, we every once in a while we get a couple of cool things. You know,
We
we
do
did
some
Ryan's
custom
car. We
wraps,
did
yeah.
we just did a really cool Mustang for R&S Performance.
Yeah.
They're like south of us, I believe, like outside the Philly area. We did a really cool car for him with this like crazy Cobra snake on it, and like this weird one-off design that we did for that one. And otherwise, we did a really cool project for the Bethlehem Public Library.
Oh man, Bethlehem Public Library was
Mark and this dude were vibing. They were going to start a band.
Ooh.
Yeah. Which probably they would have called Dirty Mike.
Well, he told me they have a free recording studio in the Bethlehem
How cool
Public
is that?
Library. That
In
you
the
can go
public
and
library?
record.
You can
Yeah,
record
apparently
music?
that you can go and record for free. So that was intriguing. And the project was one of those projects that was so large and over the top that you were kind of like, oh, should we have taken that? But then it came out really well. And they worked with an illustrator in Pennsylvania, and he submitted artwork for the job. So it was it looked like what would be an armored prison bus that was like
that's
giant,
kind of a good,
that they transformed into a walk-in library mobile bus that didn't actually drive anywhere and had to be towed.
Which that was an experience too, because we left it up at the Top Star Express,
Yeah.
like right
Yeah.
next to us.
Yeah.
And we left it up there. Shout out to Top Star Express because we take a lot of
frequent
things
Top
up
Star.
there
Their
for
parking lot.
pickups and deliveries.
When we can't fit it, when we
Yeah.
have a full lot, we're like, hey, bring it up to the top
Take
star.
it up to Top Star.
Spin it around.
Jim at the Top Star. I'll take care of it. I don't think that's his name.
Just look for Jim.
We're,
just-
we're,
just
we're at the
walk
point
in.
where we should just buy like all the property around us, make a giant paved
Put up a bunch of
parking
pole
lot,
buildings.
put up a couple pole
yeah.
buildings.
Do you think you guys are going to have to do that
people
soon?
that protest up
We're
there.
doing that now?
Listen, I think you put up a pole building.
Stop it.
Yeah, we'll see
So-
if you fucking
Pole
build.
building.
we just bought an embroidery machine. So
Yeah.
we have
I wanted to get into that as well.
we have a 12 head Barrett embroidery machine, 12 head, 15 needles on each.
I wasn't
and,
going to talk about that, but
Well, hey, why not? It's
the
our
Seamster?
new department.
that was in the do not talk list.
We had this on the
It's
do not talk
not.
list, but we gotta promote it, and that's just, that's what we're doing now. So,
Yeah.
that's why we're building the addition. We're going to be having the embroidery department in there, expanding silk screening. We have our garage with the wrapping, so we're
This machine's cool too.
one-stop
It's like 25 foot long. It weighs like 4,000 pounds.
Yeah, it's
Thing's
a monster.
insane.
It's
cool.
cool. We refurbished it from unusable.
That's what I was
condition.
asking you before it started.
Yeah, Mark put a lot of hours into that thing, just getting it.
Yeah,
back
they're not cheap.
No, and I don't know a lick about embroidery.
No,
except,
neither do
like,
I. I just-
sometimes it looks cool.
Yeah.
I did it for
and I
10
like it.
years. So.
Where did you do it out of?
In Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I worked at a silk screen embroidery company, and I did the embroidery and eventually turned into the graphic designer for the company. But in my younger days, that's what I started out doing.
Just like catching shirts and working at the screen shop?
No, actually, when I started there, they didn't have silk screening. They were just embroidery, and I learned the machines and was just an embroiderer. And then I knew Adobe Photoshop, and they took silk screening on, so I was like, hey, I'll do all of our separations and everything, so give me a raise and we'll hire other people to do the embroidery. And that's essentially what we did.
Yeah.
And I had been using this machine, so the same brand that we have now, it's a Barrett, is the same model that I worked on.
Yeah, that works out so well for you guys, especially with you having that experience and doing all that shit.
It was as far as the business model concerned, this is the appropriate step,
Yeah. I mean, because it's just another avenue of getting more from the client where now they can be like, oh, okay, we do this, but you know what I need is a couple of polos to go take out and do quotes. Yeah. And then now you step in that whole other thing.
Everybody wants T-shirts for the workers and stuff, but now you can, they got to do a couple quotes.
Mm-hmm. And that was always something that we kind of like cringed about, like when people wanted embroidery, because you couldn't quite tell them.
Couldn't offer
where it was going
properly.
And you couldn't quite offer it, but you could. But then they're like, oh, well, where do you do it? And then you're like, oh, well.
And you couldn't charge
you don't say
competitively.
out. You never say out. You're like, we work closely with, whatever. But now it's going to be cool
kind of like when my old boss ordered T-shirts from Army and Navy up here, and then a couple months later, I went to the place where I actually work now, and he had a shirt that had my logo in the front and his logo printed on the back, and I said, how did that happen? He goes, oh, I bought it from this place in Allentown. They do everybody's screen printing, and I'm like, so I paid all that money, and he didn't even do it? They don't even do it. They outsource everything.
A lot of places do that. Yeah. Or what they'll do is they do like a lot of heat transfer and like maybe a single color, and then when the job comes in that's too big for them, they just outsource it.
Heat transfers just remind me of like going to
gym
the
class.
shore.
Yeah.
Gym class,
and like
man.
getting I like that design. It looks
Give me
like
12.
Yeah, I want that car.
What are your thoughts on
Fast and the Furious?
Heat? First of all, that'd be a great shirt. Second of all, stop it. What are your thoughts on that type of process of using heat transfer for shirts? Do you like doing that, or do you think it's something that's lesser?
Heat transfer is actually a lot more complicated than that. So like you have a whole standard heat transfer in silk screening and embroidery. You offer like numbering, like letters and numbers on collegiate stuff like football teams, baseball teams, whole 9 yards. So heat transfer is a standard thing in all shops. Heat transfers of photographs and designs that you print out and then you print them on thermal paper and transfer those designs on. That's kind of like the thing you would get at the shore and whatnot. And we don't really get into that because it's
I used to do it
tacky.
I did it at my bail bond shop. The T-shirts I gave away.
See, you would do it at a bail bond shop, and
but
our
not,
shop you probably wouldn't do it.
And like there's a lot of downtime, and I had the program, so I'm like, I have a press. I'll just do fucking transfer. There I was doing stuff.
I just have some people that
Jimmy's bail bonds.
Some people that like would that would be okay to take as the quality of the shirt. And then I have other people who are like, I would never do that.
Sure.
I've always just liked screen printing better.
We do simulated process. Like we'll be like, oh, we'll take this image and the simulated process will make it look really similar to that, and we'll do that.
There's two different sides to what Mark and I do. You put a piece of vinyl in front of me, and I'll wrap anything. If you put a T-shirt in front of me, I could probably get by. Screen printing, like I understand the process. I don't know what it would look like, but
it's quite a process. There's a lot that goes into it, and I think a lot of people don't realize that. And that's why you can buy like startup kits online because so many people start that business.
They don't finish it.
Yeah. But I mean, there's so much that goes to it.
Right.
When I lived in Virginia, I worked at a screen printing press just to understand the back end of T-shirts, of more to like get like, oh, all right, this is the steps they use to do that, just for more information. And then like I started getting my shirts made there, and I could touch the shirts and like just figure out quality and all that. But like there's so many steps that go into, like it takes like a team almost to do.
And that's kind of where Mark and I differ from. He he has the background in that, so I kind of let him and Doug handle that department, and I kind of manage.
I ask him the complicated wrapping questions.
Yeah,
I mean, we're both killer designers, but as far as T-shirts and vinyl goes, he's got more vinyl knowledge.
Two completely different worlds, It's cool being able to offer that.
What are you guys going to start offering with embroidery? You can like full embroidery, like hats, everything. Like you're just going all in on it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other way to do it. I mean, it's you know, we're getting ready. We'll probably break ground in first week of April probably to start offering jobs and putting out products. So yeah, it'll be everything, from left chest embellishment to hats to full back of jackets to whatever somebody would want, to the simplest things. Hey, put my name on my bowling shirt,
Yeah.
whatever you want.
Cool stuff, man. Like being able to finally say that we pretty much offer everything in house. Like you can come to us and come from nothing and you can get a logo design to start off with. You can get business cards. You could get stationery if you choose, letterheads, envelopes, all that stuff. We have people that we have that done through, and then you can get into everything that goes with that, from lettering vehicles to
banners,
apparel to banners, signs to apparel, and then
you killed that banner, but you did for me, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh yeah,
you did a banner for me, and there's people that we took it to all the things we sit out for.
Sure.
And every single person, as soon as I showed it to them, they were like, yo, this doesn't look anything like our other one. And I go, and they're like, I said, your other one was like paper, like laminated paper.
You could come just get a logo if you want. Like you're just like, hey, I need some art. Right. We'll just make art for you.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't even realize we do that too. Like someone can come in and be like, hey, I need
a logo.
I need a logo. I need graphic design. And so, they could come in and get a logo, and then, they pay us a fee and we release it and we give it to them in formats. They'll get an Illustrator, an EPS, a PDF. They'll get a black and white, a JPEG. They can use it for web. They can use it for print. They can use it for everything.
That company who did our sign told me that they owned our design now.
Yeah.
Because I sent it to them and I go, well, that's great. Because it's on my computer, shithead.
Yeah.
So you don't own anything.
And people get weird with that stuff. So
yeah.
We're usually pretty cool with that. Releasing.
We're not going to bring the fight too much. Usually we try and compensate in our pricing for that so that they.
Sure, if somebody comes in and says I'm gonna pay you, say $200, then I'm gonna do this and this and this, and then you're like, all right, well, that's kind of like, going up far and be up, But if they're gonna take that logo and put it on notepads,
right?
Whatever.
Well, we'll sell them the notepad.
Exactly.
See, that's the thing. We could do notepads. We just got our own.
Another really cool thing actually that just happened. We just got a new printer recently, which is like out of this world awesome. We switched from Roland to Epson's, so now we have an Epson 9-color printer, which is incredible, and it now has a. Let's see, I hit the table. Has a red cartridge, an orange cartridge, and it has a gray or light gray, what have you. So printing grays is always an issue in our industry. So being able to now print accurate grays, and Ryan's car, the Audi that we did, was like the first job that came off the printer because we were waiting specifically because that job was primarily gray.
And that's another reason why it took so long, is we wanted that printer to be able to print out, tones of gray, which is, it's the diamond in the rough for us, because you can't nail those with most printers. And the Epson finally
the Epson is a incredible machine.
Killer
it's awesome.
printer. We get incredible results.
The
from
quality,
ink,
everything.
You see those Epson's the one that does those T-shirt prints too.
Yeah,
they started doing T-shirt digital printing.
Direct.
What are your guys' thoughts on that?
We don't offer it. I mean, it's
a cool thing.
It's cool. A lot of places that have it, you kind of have to really invest in that. And I don't know if they have. They probably have to have more than one, and like the run time has to be.
I watched a video where
I think I sent you the Epson one. The Epson one looks pretty solid.
It was a kid who was just doing like, you can pick out shit, and then he was doing one-offs. But what the problem was is once his business was starting to get busy, the turnaround time on making one shirt, as opposed to if you did it manually or by a machine, you would just bury the numbers completely. And then I also like, I look at it and like, to me, my big thing is, how's it going to feel when you wear it? And that's where I get into like obsessing over if it's a discharge print or if it's too much. Like I've always hated where it was just like stiff. The 80s, like just
the vinyl shirts used to be like the heat press ones.
Yeah,
they were always too hot.
Printer Doug gets mad at me a lot because I always like one hit shirts no matter what, just because I like
and like regular plastisol inks and stuff. But like discharge and water based inks, you get that nice soft feel, and you can do multiple colors.
That was a whole nother world once I started learning, because
discharge is awesome.
It's crazy. Like it bleeds. Like that's what this is. Like
it bleaches the color and changes the color.
Which I didn't realize that like the original color of the shirt is like almost like an off, like white, and then they dye it all the different colors, and then when you do the discharge, it rips that back down to what it is. But you can do cool stuff. It's like where I'll be like, hey, I want to discharge it, but I don't want to add any color, and then it gives it like this one. I think it was just the discharge. Like there's so much different layers. But I would have to feel how, like, I still don't believe that the quality of a printed shirt is the same as the quality of what would be done by hand or a machine. I don't know how that digital printing feels.
Yeah, it's you kind of have to weigh profitability.
Yeah.
Well, it's really not profitable for a lot of business models. Like if you were to buy a direct-to-garment printer, you'd have to have the clients for it, and do enough.
You'd
work
have to
on
have
it.
at least 3 or 4 of them running at the same time.
Yeah, I can only imagine you need multiples, and it's just
what's
not.
the overhead of that? Because those machines are not.
I don't think they're cheap. They're
not cheap.
No, they're not cheap at all. You can get on a payment plan, but who wants? You know what I mean? Like, well, that's what this kid did. He's like, all right, well, it's these payments. This is what it's going to be, and the whole YouTube video was like how he's going to pay this off. But then there was like he was making money, but then it was just once he ran into having to do.
I think that's what all the old MMA shirts used to be.
What?
Well, who was the guy who started MMA, and then it was like the face?
No, that was
Tap Out?
Tap Out.
You know those shirts, though, that's digital printing.
Yeah. I never wore one.
And then they do all over sub. They do
it doesn't feel any different.
Oh yeah, they do dye sublimation too, like all over.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel.
Like that. Those are
it's cool.
Like affliction shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's where, when I first started getting into it, I was like, well, why does mine feel like this? Because once you start using, and this brings us back to what we were talking about earlier, is like, when I'm talking to a client and they're wanting to do way too much, like even though I would make more money, I'm like, you don't want to do any of this because you're going to hate it once you get your shirts. I'm like, well, I didn't know it was going to be like this. And you try and steer them through that. But like, I don't know. It's difficult when you start getting into the multicolors and how the things feel and all the avenues you can go down.
It's a whole other world. Screen printing is
I have a love-hate relationship with it. But
yeah,
me too.
There's so many different variables, involved in that. It's just like
that's why vinyl's so nice, because you just print whatever you want, and you get a high quality.
Yes.
Yeah, it's for in the simplest way.
Yeah.
You can put, for designers, as far as translating your artistic creations as closely as possible, and having art installations. Vinyl is really, it took me to a whole nother level as a designer because I was in the screen printing world for so long and embroidery, and it's kind of, you're limited as far as design and what you can reproduce to a degree, whereas vinyl is just like, wow, we could make anything. And of course it's not going on wearables, but it's going on large canvases, big trucks or cars or whatever. Yeah, rolling billboards. And it's I appreciate being able to unleash yourself creatively with wraps and vinyl and printing like that. So,
and having the experience to do so, Bill and I always joke, we're finding new people coming in. You're almost teaching them backwards.
Yeah.
How to do what we're doing, because now the films, the technology in the films have come so far. These films essentially put themselves on. Now, I say that, and someone tries to put it on, it's a disaster. But the films have air release channels behind them, so you don't have to pop all the bubbles and do all that stuff. Anyways, but when I first learned how to do vinyl, and when Bill learned how to do vinyl, Bill was airbrushing and pinstriping, but when he learned how, and when I learned how, it was the hardest possible vinyl. Mm-hmm. It's a 5-year film that doesn't have an air release, and it was like 20 some inches, and you're putting this on and you're getting bubbles and doing all this and that. And now we're moving up to these wrap films, and I remember doing my first wrap and I was like, wow, like this is the easiest thing I've ever done. But coming from a hard film and then upgrading to an easy film, and now you're teaching people, they're starting with an easy film because that's what we're using 90% of the time, and then you give them a phone number in cut vinyl to put on, and it looks like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
And you're like, what's going on here? And they're like, oh, well, this is completely different. And then you sometimes have to step back and I have to pump the brakes a little bit and be like, all right, well, these people are learning.
Yeah. That's what I said. I never learned that. I learned layering.
Yeah.
Colors,
exactly.
layering, and then going,
layers,
what?
colors,
If we're going to do
layers,
this, we have to get this color thinner, because if you don't, it's going to be this much off the thing.
Yeah.
And you'd layer it, and then you'd have to go and put the vinyl inside, like have it cut out, fit it in there, and do it. Yeah, and it just... And then we tried to wrap one thing, and I was just like, nope, not for me.
It's a dying,
Don't know what's
and that's a dying art. We still have one or two customers. We have one customer specifically that still we cut stripes out, and then we take a paper bag, and we use one shot, paint, and you dab the paper bag so it gets this weird crackle pattern, and that's what he wants every single time. That's what he gets, and he will not change it. And it's a process, but
a specialty product, and you give them what they want and stuff.
But it's cool being able to offer that and satisfy that customer, and them to continue to come back, and just a cool thing,
Definitely.
It's crazy how much you guys are just hitting every base now. Then with bringing embroidery in, when you were saying that, I was like, man, that's so much added in there just for an extra feature that'll be. It's going to be a whole monster on itself. Right. Now, are you going to be running that by yourself and doing all the stuff, or are you guys gonna have to bring in more people?
We will be hiring more people. And I mean, at the beginning, I'll be the manager of it to whatever needs to happen in the early stages. But we'll hire somebody, a qualified person. We have an individual that we're looking into, and I'll get it to a point where it'll just be management, really. But I still am fluent in the programs and in the machine, so I'll always be there to coordinate, and between me and Nate, our positions have kind of grown to, we still design and we still physically do a lot of the jobs, but we also do a lot of management. So we're kind of logistics wise, schedules and keeping the workflow and making sure productivity is where it needs to be, because it's at our benefit to have the company grow. So it's our jobs have just turned into multifaceted.
We kind of float everywhere
we
now
float,
at this point.
do a lot of
if
floating.
someone needs a car wash, I'll wash a car. If we have to put cut vinyl on to help the guys out, I'll put cut vinyl on. And then it's also goes.
But that's probably not bad because you're not doing the same thing every goddamn day.
It's nice.
It's fulfilling.
I don't mind going outside and washing a vehicle.
Sure. Yeah.
It's nice to get away from the computer screen.
I do. I'm not doing that.
And
you do a meeting with the client,
outside a little bit.
We love going on,
right.
Client, hey, you have an appointment somewhere, you got to go check out something that they want to do on, at a building or something, or you get to, have some pretty interesting stuff. It's kind of nice because
Bill's kind of now stepping back a little bit and letting us kind of have a little bit more freedom with, not everybody, for such a long time, it was everybody coming in and saying, is Bill here? Is Bill here?
Yeah.
Because they've dealt with him for so long, which
and
respectfully so.
It's hard. It's hard to break people that have it.
Yeah. Especially graphics wise, because they're so adamant about what they want and the colors.
It's usually older folks too, because they're used to, if they see somebody that's younger, they assume you don't know anything.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
And it sucks because you're like, man.
Turned a corner with it though.
Yeah.
People are coming in and they expect to see us now. And Bill, he's still there, and he's a super important part.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's the heart of our business.
For sure.
But I mean, that's got to be a weight off his back to even have two employees, let alone one that gives.
He can kind of
cares as much as the two of you do.
He can breathe a little bit. He can, if he needs to go out. It's nice being able for us to kind of hold down the fort essentially.
Yeah, but it makes everything work better that way.
Oh, sure.
And him being able to go out and actually do what he's so good at, really, and that's going out and talking to clients and getting jobs and just doing all that networking and doing all this stuff.
And it gives you guys a feeling of accomplishment because you've been there that long to where now you're giving the freedom of being able to do that. But I mean, I've been in positions where people don't give that to you, and then after a while, you're just like, what am I, a kid?
It's stale.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bill
we've
definitely
always moved forward. It's always a step forward, and like I said, everything that he's ever told me has always come true in some way, shape, or form. So if he kind of comes to me and he's like, "Hey, I'm building a rocket ship out back," and I'm like, "All right,
you guys should do that.
Let's do it."
I bet you, he'd probably build a rocket ship for him. My boss would buy a goddamn AR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what we should do? We should get we should have someone sponsor and buy a rocket ship, and we get a piece or two.
God damn! Don't steal my idea.
One piece every month
It takes
to build
50
this rocket
years.
ship.
Here's the fuel.
His children are finishing the project. My father started this when I was 6.
Here's a piece of aluminum foil.
With that being said, with kind of how Bill operates, what is coming down the pipeline for his idea of where this thing's going to be in the next 5 years? I mean, embroidery is obviously going to change a lot with the apparel side of it, but where do you guys see this being in 5 years?
What's next? Paint?
No, I think
Paint booths?
if I
Paint booths?
if I had to predict,
Paint is dead.
If I had to predict what we're gonna do next, we're gonna run out of room.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a problem.
Do you have the opportunity to buy land, like you were saying, and spread out up there? Or are you going to have to move the whole operation?
Maybe.
There's always opportunities.
Yeah.
There's always opportunities. And I think if you get, these are the kind of, when me, Nate, and Bill sit down and start letting our minds go and fantasizing about the future, you can really, that's where, we could talk about this all night long about what our dreams are going forward. But really, it's going to be, we're going to outgrow our property, and we're going to have to move a department to a different place, buy property, and have a new or a pre-existing place or build.
Yeah,
and
you're looking at like a giant warehouse in like an industrial park, or buying property.
Really, what I could see happening is the same thing that happened with the front shop. The graphics part of it moves out, and the screen printing moves in, and so at some point, I would imagine if it keeps going, the graphics part of it is going to go somewhere else, and screen printing and embroidery may just be at that location. And because we have talked about potentially maybe a second location, doing something like that. But I feel like right now our location is good. It works for us.
And that building itself is awesome.
The building is beautiful.
Listen, there's warehouses over in Tatamy.
Yeah. You mean the warehouse?
Right. I heard there's
there's a place in the warehouse.
There's a guy that put a stop to all that. Thank you.
It was stop it.
There's a town inside a warehouse. It's called Tatamy.
I've stopped so much, even in just this short conversation in my own personal
lives are
life.
being changed.
Yeah.
But we encourage people. We're like, hey, if you come up, we'll give you a tour. I mean, we'll show you what's
I want to
going on.
reshoot that tour.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna
we'll
say
show 'em
bells and
everything.
whistles.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
I don't know.
We're really, some people don't let you behind the door to see what's happening, but we're like, hey, come in.
That was my first thing
Come
when you
check it
showed
out.
it to me. I was like, I want to film this. It's fucking crazy.
We love giving people the tour because, quite honestly, even if anybody was on the fence, you have them come up and give them the tour, and they're
I didn't even think of that
sold.
when they come in to get be like, hey, do you guys do this? And then they see the operation.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
that's the
just
best
a
way to sell a
full-blown
job.
And people come in all the time and they're like, man, this place is so clean. It's like, actually, it's very dirty right now, but
Clean
it's
to us
way-
and clean to them.
Yeah, it's
two different
way
things.
cleaner than what it is. But yeah, we're. I just feel like it's getting to that point where, I mean, right now, like if you saw our shop right now, it's like there's cars
Parking
parked all
lot's
over the place,
full.
and it's a mess.
What
It's an
about
absolute mess.
hydro dipping?
Don't touch the stuff.
Yeah, we had talked.
Listen, just do it. I need some done on my gun.
I know
Just
we
stop it.
we
Do
talked
it.
about it, but then we realized like the process and what you need.
It's weird.
and everything.
It's weird.
like you need all these tanks and these vats, and
You don't
it's
know.
like,
You don't need that much because I had a gun done and dude showed me everything and I was like, oh, I watch videos. It looks so much more complicated.
Yeah.
But you
It's
have to
just
understand
weird.
that
It's not profitable.
Yeah, if my
for us.
boss
Weird.
does it, it's gonna be like we're getting a
Sure, that's what I'm-
tank
that-
for hydro
yeah.
dipping
Listen.
the size of this
You can't do
room.
anything small at this level.
This
It's like
is
you
my
have to-
plan. If I have you guys do it, then my shit will be so much better.
Well, why don't you have your boss
Yeah.
Here's what I'm
start
thinking.
that
Yeah, once you got
business?
some hydro dipping.
If you
I've got
could-
this crazy idea.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be.
It's amazing. I've seen it because the guy that I go, it's up in the Poconos, but he's done like dashes, like just plain black dashes.
Yeah.
And they'll just like hydro dip it and have it look like carbon fiber or whatever. And it actually doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
There's really cheesy ones that are like the $100 bills and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
But there's so many different things you can do. So then he was just like, hey man, I've been hydro dipping like guns, like barrels and stuff. And I was like, I'll give it a go. So I
it's
did. I had
popular
one
thing,
done.
People love
It's
that.
pretty rock solid too. I mean,
Some
he sat
people
there with
like
a
it.
wire
I know
brush.
it's super durable,
and
that
it's
stuff
like
is very
it's like
durable,
glass.
yeah.
Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
Do you guys
But
wrap
it's
guns?
We've had like
Not
one or two people come in.
traditionally.
Yeah, that's one of those jobs where like people come in and we're like, listen, you should look into hydro dipping or
Yeah.
Not a lot of
something else. 'cause
surface
it's
area.
not
And the other thing
Right.
too, with how
efficient
busy you are
offering.
and what you said is like it's got to be profitable.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like the time spent doing one gun is what you would lose if you could be doing a
Yeah,
million
but I'm
other
very
things.
selfish, so I want them to do it.
Yeah,
No,
it's
I mean
really,
they said
it's really
they would wrap
hard.
the
I
gun.
mean,
We just got to wait a
Yeah,
year for it.
you
And they're going to do it month by
sometimes
month,
people-
one apart.
Sometimes people end up having to wait a little bit for stuff because you really have to make measured decisions between companies that are contract that are you do regular work with, and then or bigger jobs when somebody comes in to do something small and kind of personal or craft oriented, and you kind of have to measure the time differently. some people, commercial businesses who we, have accounts with, they're not going to wait a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Whereas somebody else, if you bring in a quarter midget and your season doesn't start for 4 months, you kind of got to work with us if we're busy.
Yeah.
If we're not busy, I mean, hey, maybe you nailed it.
Do
Usually
you guys
the
even
winter is
slow
what we
down
do.
at this point?
I was gonna say at this point
We shouldn't.
we can't really say that we're not busy because
We're normally not as busy as we are right now.
Yeah.
And it's unseasonable weather, so a lot of the businesses that we do work with have continued their normal business as usual. So they're still spending money, and we're still doing accounts with them.
We've been, I would say, all winter. We've probably been booked out 2-3 weeks.
That's nuts.
Comfortably. That's a nice cushion.
Yeah.
Usually it's not that at all.
Yeah.
You're like, you play every week as it goes.
Yeah.
And this winter, we're out. We're putting people
great.
out.
Yeah.
It's awesome for us. It shows a real.
We've been super, super, super.
Well, that's what I was going to
lucky
ask
and
you is
fortunate.
how does that feel going from being laid off during the winter and not even knowing if, because I'm sure at some points you probably questioned whether or not you would even stay there.
It's incredible, honestly, because and we do even kind of laugh about it now because years ago we were like, oh well, not really anything's happening. I guess we got to go home, blah blah. And a couple of years ago, and even recently, with Mark going into winter, I know a couple of times we sat down with Mark and he was like, oh, we don't have anything going next week. What are we gonna do? The guys, we're trying to do all this stuff, and me and Bill kind of sit back and smile a little bit because it's like, hey man, like we're fine. Like this is fine
more than what we usually have.
3 years ago I was at home right now,
Yeah.
so we're gonna be just fine, and it worked out, and now we're 2 to 3 weeks booked.
I think it's important
and
for anyone to pay attention to what you just said, for the fact of that when you start something out, it isn't going to just be, hey, here it is, and like it's so uncomfortable, and there's no rhyme or reason, and you're building it and you're growing it. So for you to find a boss like that, or for the two of you to grow a business to what it is now, that's got to feel pretty good.
Sure.
Like because
we're
you made
both-
a solid career choice, the both of you.
We're both very much invested in the just the business itself in general. I really couldn't see myself doing anything else. I mean,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it there.
And I feel like it's very hard to
work.
find a business owner who wants to take on and accomplish stuff like that, or to be a part of something. I mean, I tried it for years. I worked at 30 to 40 different fucking places, and I could never find that one. That you it's so hard to find somebody who gives a shit, has direction, wants to do cool stuff, trusts you guys to do that stuff, wants to build out, wants to grow it. Like there's so many people that sometimes are focused on money and they don't want to spend money to make more money. It's difficult starting anything out, but it's also difficult to find somebody who gives us shit as much as Bill does.
And someone who's willing to take that leap really every day, or he'll find some way to make it work. Like if we need something done, he's like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'll keep going until it happens.
He's open-minded and he's fearless.
Yeah.
So, that's a dangerous combination for an entrepreneur who's going to just plow through decisions and not let anything, there's no negativity in that frame of mind.
Yeah.
And he'll take the worst situation, find that good in it and exploit it. And like that, to have that as your energy. Right. He's even
Every
in our
day.
personal lives, he's done, I bought a house with my wife because of Bill.
Yeah.
Just the guts to be like, we didn't know if we could do it. And, you ask yourself why, when's the right time? There's no right
Never.
time in life to do
I tell
anything.
that people all the
and
time.
he's just like, dude, get back on the phone and get your dream. And it's like when you have somebody like that championing you.
Oh my God, yeah.
And we do that at work, and he's done stuff for Nate too. And I mean, all of us there.
Yeah, bought a Jeep and a Harley.
Yeah, a Jeep and a Harley. and it's funny, he rolls in on it, we're like, yo,
God damn American dream right there.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is the simplest way, it
All
really
you need
is.
is an AR now. God damn it.
dude,
I mean, realistically, well, I have an
need
idea. But very well said, honestly. I mean, but that I would have never done that otherwise had he not have been like, hey,
I feel like it's important to
cares?
have people like that around.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And he just has he's just a hilarious guy, funny guy, and his whole thing is just why use your money when
You can use the banks.
Use the bank's money.
He's like,
he said, take the loan for as long as possible with the lowest payment.
Just make that monthly payment.
Just get it, you know?
And the reason you can have the balls to do that is because we put up and we make it happen. You know? Like put up or shut up, and
it's not like we're not going to be able to
hit it.
No, it sounds like you're just making bad decisions and getting debt.
That's the thing. It's like it's not just reckless decisions.
It's hilarious.
Get a bunch of credit cards. Use them up.
Normally people don't have the guts to do it.
Yeah.
But we do it. And he's got a good team.
It also comes from him building this, so it's like he sees how far it went, and then it's like I'm sure there was times where there was a massive amount of pressure on him, and he's like, "How the hell are we gonna have money next week?"
And when his life on the line, really.
What did you think about starting a business like that?
Collateral.
When you first started, most people don't even know what it is.
To start that.
Yeah,
people don't know what that is. Back when he started,
and it's just constant technology change. Do you guys have to constantly keep being up with the trend?
It never ends.
Yeah,
it never ends. You need to stay. You need to stay on. And with the people we have there now, I mean, we have a mix of ages, and we're all good at what we do, and we all independently stay on top of stuff. Like me and Nate's really into the industry. I'm really into design and customer service and stuff like that, and being sociable and having those skills. And like our techs, they're into cars, they're into their jobs. And Tanya, our other designer, my wife, she's got a bachelor's degree in design, and she's on top of the design world. Super talented.
Yeah.
And
we've got the right people in place and the right pieces in place to succeed. That's really what we're planning to do,
and just find more to grow.
Trying to blow out the Lehigh Valley here.
Well, I mean, you could definitely see just from social media and the amount of work that you're doing that you have the correct people in the right places, or else you wouldn't be growing as fast and as large. And just the projects that you guys take on are crazy.
Right. And I would say, past couple of years, humbly, and we're still pretty humble about what we do, but you can't help but drive around this area and not see something that we've touched. Which is a great feeling, and I say that in in a humble way. It's a flattering.
If you take a trip
really
around the Lehigh Valley on any given day, you probably have seen something Scribbles and Drips was involved with, if not multiple things.
Yep.
That's massive.
Agreed. It's awesome.
Yeah, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, I mean, big clients too. We have our bigger clients. Really, HT Lions. We do HT Lions. We do Dieter Brothers. We do Bethlehem Police. We do
like when I started seeing all like the amount of stuff like that was coming through. I was like, holy shit! I'm like, awesome. They're doing so much. And then when the word of mouth from when companies like that do it, then it's just now you're just taking up everything.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, if you have to go to Lehigh Valley Health Network Hospital and have a surgical robot work on your body, and it's got decals on it, well, that's because we wrapped the surgical robots.
That's crazy,
And
I've been hanging out in the OR the past like every Wednesday night. They're
go to the hospital tonight.
All the doors in the OR. At Lehigh Valley Hospital.
How do you even get into something like that? Just because we did the municipal trucks?
Well, we did their public safety vehicles, like their patrol vehicles.
And then what were they like? Hey, can you do? Would you even be able to do something like this?
Yeah, and they just came up and they were like, "Hey, we've got this idea for these robots, and we've got these robots, and we want to do something. We want to make them look like these." And, okay, and we did them, and we did like 7 robots. Yeah. It's kind of cool. They're like satin black and gunmetal gray.
Cool.
And they got
Listen, it's cool
until
until they take over.
Yeah.
It's real cool, guys. Till they take over.
Taking over.
And then we have to shoot back at them.
I've spent more time.
It's gonna take me a year to get an AR. So
I've spent more time in the OR than I've ever liked to in the past couple of weeks here, and it's just like it is bizarre. Like they've got these robots are crazy, man. Like the stuff that they're doing. Like they got this, the doctor the surgeon sits at this like little like console, and you're almost looking through one of those things you used to have like when we were kids with like the discs, and you like hit like the viewfinder things, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And he like sits through one of those and runs this like robot that's a separate thing, and it has like all these fingers on it, and it just like
that's nuts. Dude, I didn't even know that you guys would be doing anything like that.
And of course the first time we got in there, Bill's like, hey, we should put some Yakko's hot dogs in these.
Where do you stand on Yakko's hot dogs?
Yakko's all the way,
Yakko's
100%.
Lehigh
Don't
Valley,
even,
baby.
don't even argue with me.
No. I'm not going to argue with you.
I'm not going to
because
show that there's a separate company
I
that's on the
see
table.
what's on there.
That's
saw
the
right
only
away.
company we support right
I didn't
there.
say anything.
The other day,
sorry to hear that.
I was over at Finishers tournament in Allentown, and I was leaving, and
Those guys
I
were
was
doing
like,
some cool stuff.
dude, they're crazy. I'm gonna have. I think Thor's coming on to talk about the school that he opened, but they do so much. That's why I like just working with all these people doing so much between like having you guys that come on and do this and the things that you guys do and Finishers and all that. Like it motivates me to do more.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like all that stuff about Bill, it's like where I'm at with this business right now, and I'm just doing this now, and it's like it's scary. And I'm like, all right, well, you see people like Bill who are like, all right, well, they obviously feel how you do because that's how everyone feels in the first month, where they're like, how the fuck am I going to get money? And it's crazy, and it's a rush, and then when you actually get it, that feeling is what you get addicted to, and then you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
You gotta
and
go
pushing.
up, just go up there sometime and talk to him for like an hour. And
I
he
do.
will-
Dude,
I want
he
to. I
will
want to talk.
just-
I want
he
to.
will-
I want to get him on the show.
He will go off. you
Yeah.
know. His life is. He would be great on here. It's just hard. He just doesn't.
No, I have a friend who
He's-
he's been asking me more and more about it.
Yeah,
he's
it's
like, well,
crazy.
so like, what would you ask me if I came on? So I know he's thinking about it, but I don't know if he ever will. I told him I'd
Right.
blur his face out.
Yeah,
he's like,
that's-
whoa, we could do like
that's
a
kinda
voice
how Bill is.
change.
Bill's like, yeah.
No, we have that stuff on here. It's
Yeah.
built into the program. We'll give him a robot voice.
He just just his story and
It's important though
it's
to
crazy.
like
It's
how
awesome.
like what you
It's
said, how much that guy's impacted both of your lives, and he gives a shit about both of you, and he's like, you know what I mean, to put you in positions to pay you correctly, to like give you personal advice. You know how rare it is to find a fucking
Absolutely,
owner that gives a shit.
It's 1 in a million. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one in a lifetime almost. Like you don't.
Yeah.
You will not encounter somebody like that again. Most likely, once you have. That's how unique he is. But
Well said.
You know.
I would agree. I would
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah.
100%. Well, let's get back to the hot dogs things. What's your,
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
So do you know that? You know that place right there is right like a block and a half
Yeah,
over.
that doesn't concern me.
First of all,
Let's talk about the Ayakokos.
I
who
have
helped-
I
helped
I have
forward.
recently stepped into a new thing that I don't like, because people will argue with me. I like a gas station hot dog.
Yeah.
I like getting them on the roller.
You are
you
fierce.
look like a gas station hot dog guy.
I do.
$2 for $2.
But what I'm saying is, when I stopped putting the hot dog in, like, I'm just, like, people be like, oh, fucking Yakko's or Potsy's, and I'm like, no, there's so many different, it's like pizza.
Sure.
There's definitely so many different styles. So then I was like, I'm going to stop categorizing I'm glad I think this much about hot dogs. I don't want to categorize hot dogs in one thing.
Yeah.
So the other day I stopped at Yakko's, and I'm like, you know what? They get so much shit. I've talked so much shit. I'm like, I'm just going to eat the hot dog. And I was like, it's a good hot dog. It's a different style of hot dog. It's not
There's
Potsy's.
something about getting it like just tightly rolled.
yeah.
And like the bun, just there's something.
It's
about
different.
It.
Let's
It's
be
different.
honest. You didn't eat just one.
Yeah.
I had two.
Yeah.
But I got
go.
them. What is it? Yakko is just the chili, the raw onion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The works or whatever.
The
they
place
do
was
there.
clean. I forget which one I went over by.
Airport
Over by
Road?
Airport. Or,
Catasauqua Road. Yeah.
Airport Road. Yeah.
That's the one we go
That's
to.
a nice location.
It's
yeah.
clean.
Yeah,
It's clean
yeah,
in there.
yeah.
I was a little
I've given
confused by
them
where to order, and
a
the
lot of
lady
business.
made me feel
yeah.
dumb.
They
But I'm
have
not.
their-
I
they have
haven't
their
been
way
Yakko'd
of-
in a while.
Yeah.
I didn't know. When I moved here to Pennsylvania, people are like, "Oh yeah, you go to Yakko's, you get a hot dog and you get chocolate milk." I'm like,
Yes.
What?
Yes.
People
I do
don't
get chocolate
understand
milk.
how chocolate milk goes with hot dogs.
It does.
It's the Pennsylvania Dutch out here. Yeah. Weird tradition. Is that what it is? That what?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
It's got to be. That's why they call it Yakko's, is because they didn't pronounce Ayacoca right, and in the Dutch IOA or whatever is ya or something like that.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, my father-in-law told me that story. Because they go back. The Ayacocas here, and that's the brother-in-law of the brother of the famous Ayacoca who did the minivan or whatever. Who
No,
owns it?
so Ayacoca's, if we're talking about that for a little bit, I just recently watched Ford versus Ferrari. Have you seen
Yep.
that movie yet?
No, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Incredible.
Yes.
Incredible.
But I have friends that are like super Ford guys and like
Yeah.
Mustang guys,
Yeah.
and I just equate it to
How many people have they hit?
no. I say this. I go, well, last I checked, I don't see chicks going after dudes with Mustangs. I think if you have a Ferrari,
They're getting run
so
over
guess
by 'em
what?
maybe, but-
Who won? Who really won in the end?
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah.
Ford won that one, but
Yeah.
Ferrari still.
Sure, yeah,
But it's supposed to
you
be a
can't
good
deny
movie.
the fact that there was an Iacocca involved.
Absolutely.
that essentially got Ford
Dude, and I
into
appreciate
racing.
and I
for
appreciate
Le
that
Mans.
they stepped in. Like,
is
screw
awesome.
you, people. We're gonna win.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. But
And a fearless driver like that and all that. But I can't deny the fact that I will now buy more Yakos hot
Yeah.
dogs.
Is that
Only
your guys'
because-
go-to?
Oh, yeah.
Is that your favorite hot dog in the area?
Shop
I mean,
is
where else?
yeah,
Where else are you going
there
to get
really
a hot
isn't.
dog? Really,
There
I
isn't
don't-
another hot
I don't
dog
know
shop
what
in
is
the
he-
area.
it's
Yeah.
like
talking about?
guys.
Yeah.
It's only like 2 minutes down the street.
What about Jimmy's? What's your thought on Jimmy's?
Never heard of
Because
it.
you either hate Jimmy's or you like Jimmy's.
Yeah.
I hate the Cripple Man from.
I don't think he's there anymore.
Jimmy's?
It's
Oh.
I think a family owns it now or something
I don't
happened
care.
there.
He
The
turned me off
last
to it.
chili dog I ate that wasn't Yakos was a place. My sister went to college at Clarion University.
Yeah.
and there was a place called Eddie Dogs.
Yeah.
way back, and they were intoxicated, and so I had to drive them to Eddie Dogs, and my buddy was intoxicated. And there's like rules, like you go in to speak to Eddie, and he's just like this old retired dude. He's like 80, he barely moves, and he like goes to get you a hot dog, and he's like.
Oh yeah, I'm
Like
sure. Yeah.
like this, and me and my friend are like, like what? And my sister's like, don't, like if he hears you he will kick you out.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
he has rules,
Like the
you
soup
don't,
Nazi.
Yeah, the
like,
soup Nazi
you don't
over
say
there.
anything, and
Well-
he goes, and you don't talk politics, you don't do
No.
anything, because like someone said something, he's like, get out.
well,
out.
that's like
You're
that's
not-
like New York,
you know.
isn't like papayas.
Papaya dog.
Same
That's
thing.
like
Those are
the
good.
Same thing.
that's
It's like
the
a soup Nazi
equivalent
thing.
To the,
You walk up and you have to know if
the-
you say anything else, they'll
the
just
gas
look
station
right
dog.
past you and just
I don't know if I like
There's a
fruit on my
There's a really good
hot dog bun.
It's amazing.
chili dog in Scranton. The chili itself is ranked 3rd in the nation.
I don't know about
I think
that.
it's called like I'm telling you,
By who?
the nation. But
people of the nation.
when I go up there
who
for the
have had their
tattoo
chili.
convention, somebody turned me on to it, and they're like Texas wieners, where they cut it down the middle and then they fry it on the flat top, and they put chili and onions. And every time I go up, I usually buy like 10, and then I bring like
Yeah.
I'll eat some in the hotel bed alone, and then I'll bring 5 or 6 home
Well,
and eat it all in a day.
my-
They're
There you
delicious.
My boss
I love
went-
hot dogs.
hot dogs are so good.
My
man.
boss
I love.
went
That's what I'm
to,
saying. I don't hate on them.
No, he
I
went,
like a
to,
good gas
he went back
station
to visit
dog.
his family in Chicago.
Yeah.
So he got like 30 hot dogs, like Chicago dogs.
Right.
Wrapped them up and then took them through the airport and flew home. And he was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Look at these,
the
look at these hot
smelliest-
dogs."
the
But I
smelliest
ran to him and I
airplane
go,
of all
"These are
time."
these are fucking pitiful." And he's like,
Yeah.
"What? These are Chicago hot dogs." And I go, "Just because they color them red doesn't
Because
make
it's got
them
a
any
pickle
cooler."
on it and
It's got like
a tomato or whatever.
peppers. And,
Yeah.
If I'm not going to Yakos right now and I want to drive,
might go to Yakos tomorrow.
I'm gonna
Now
go.
we're talking about it. I'm like,
I'm gonna go to Brooklyn and I'm gonna go to Criff Dogs.
Yeah.
And now that's like, if you're gonna get a hot dog in New York City and you want a really good hot dog with a great menu and it's a place that would remind you of like Never Again or
Yeah.
a tattoo shop or something like that, you're gonna go to Criff Dogs. And then like that's if it's not Yakos, it's Criff Dogs for me.
There's something about finding a hot dog spot that is just like it makes you feel warm.
Satisfying.
Changes your life.
Yeah, it does.
Changes your
and,
life.
Yeah.
And Yakko's crinkle cut fries.
Yes, I did
are
get fries. I
the
did get
tops.
fries. Yeah.
The tops.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I
And
like the crinkle
tater
cut with
tots,
it.
dude. You can get
I like
tater
tater tots with dogs as
take
well.
that, pots.
Oh, shots fired.
see,
but
but
we
see,
are-
listen, you're but
We're
you're.
a
I feel
Yakko's
I feel that you're unfairly tying the natural pots in with that shitty yuppie Bethlehem one, because that shitty yuppie Bethlehem one is
I've had-
nothing like the one in Nazareth.
I've had
Nah,
Pots
isn't,
a
isn't there a
few
Pots
times.
in Northampton?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
I think
they're-
that's
they're
my
by
least
Redner's or
favorite.
whatever.
that's where I originally had it, and it was like
It's
I'm
a
not
cash
saying it was
only.
bad. I'm not saying it
No,
was
we
bad.
went to the one in Bethlehem, and I was just like, even though this is the first one here, I was like,
It wasn't bad. It just
No.
like I'm just
You're
I
used
like
to it.
I prefer Yakko's.
I'm,
So,
Yakos
it's
is
nothing
growing
against-
on me.
It's really
a lot
nothing
of people
against
talk
Pots
shit on
hot dogs.
Yakos, and I feel like they need to. Like my buddy was like, "You went to fucking Yakos," because I posted it on my story, and I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna start sticking up for Yakos."
No, and like, say you want to do like a double header one night, and you're like, I need 2 meals in a row. You go get Yakos in Allentown, and then hit Cali Burrito, which is like
Ooh,
right
yeah.
behind it or whatever.
That's right. I
I
forgot
liked
that's
Cali
in
Just
the
like
Burrito.
bang bang.
back when it was by Dorney Park there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
well,
is
Well,
last
now
time I
it
ate
moved
there.
closer to Yakos.
Yeah,
though.
it was good when it was there. I haven't been to the new
The
spot.
food's, the food's not bad.
Incredible. It's still just as good. I love
Yeah.
Cali Burrito. I love me and
Burrito's
Tanya
nice,
frequent Cali Burrito.
Yeah, well,
Not as much
been
as
there
I'd
in a
like to,
while.
but
What do you do for pizza? Are you a pizza guy too? Because
I am.
we have
biased.
we have a certain pizza place we use.
A buddy of mine, we started going into the city, and started like getting into like Mama's 2 and like all these other places. And like, I mean, Nazareth, as many pizza places that they have, it's just, I don't know. There's nothing.
I worked at a pizza place for on and off for 8 years, so I'm very biased.
Oh, yeah.
Sicily's all the way.
Where's that at?
Right down the street.
Yeah. What do you guys have for pizza by you?
We use Cherryville pizza.
I've heard that.
I've had it from there.
Bodner.
Pizza Como North.
I used to go
Bodner told me about
to Paulo's when it was there,
Yeah.
and now
Very
it's
good,
what,
yeah.
Acamia?
Acamia. Very good food.
Paulo's was
Acamia's
awesome,
good.
and then when he got rid of it, and then whoever took it over didn't happen.
Yes.
And then he was
right.
like, I'm opening Acamia, and it's like, thank God.
Yeah. Their food
His food
is
is ridiculous.
incredible, yes.
But
Very good,
Cherryville
very good.
pizza.
Yeah, we've
No,
ordered,
I've
we've
heard.
ordered
I
from
want to
there.
go. I'm going to go there to eat
There
because
is
my buddy
no,
Keith that comes down for the fights keeps talking
There's
about
no
it.
other pizza like it, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
There really isn't.
Get it well done.
Ooh,
Order
see,
it
I
well
started.
done.
That's the thing too. Is
Yeah.
like, I
Tell
like
them-
getting into things where you start finding little
You
secrets.
can even tell
We've
them.
eaten there.
Tell them
I've
you've
eaten
heard
there.
from Scribbles and Drips that well done is.
Oh yeah, you just say I want it well done like Scribbles and Drips, and they're gonna hook you up.
They just end up burning my pizza.
Well,
It's just like this big.
it's one of the things where like you call
Yeah.
from work and they say our number and we're like, yeah, we'd like a large plain pizza, and they're like, well done, extra crispy. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I just started getting that
I've
done
eaten a
too.
lot from there. We train when we do the Wolfpack stuff. We train up the road.
Their food's
So every
good,
time we
just
get
in
pizza,
general,
we get
yeah,
from
it's
there.
good.
And I've
Cherryville's
eaten there,
good.
so I was getting tested. And they were like, "Oh, we're just gonna go eat there."
Yeah.
So we end up getting a whole bunch of food.
Yeah, their stuff's good.
And I was like, "Oh my god!" Now they're like, "Okay, get ready." And
Now
I'm
you
like,
gotta
"I have to
run."
move." Yeah, they're like, "You gotta
Cheesesteaks
walk
are
up a
great.
hill."
No,
Like, oh,
yeah. Now I haven't been to in a long time Lou's 50-yard line because that's
I haven't
the
been there in a
original
long time either.
because that is Pizza Como
Yeah.
essentially.
yeah.
So I don't know if their pizza is very similar, but now that
But
I'm
I
in
feel like when
Bethlehem,
you're younger and you're growing up, pizza was different.
yeah.
Like we used to eat down at what was the one down here that was always we would go after every football game.
Pizza Joe.
Pizza Joe. And
But they
we're
were
like,
the
"Oh my
only
god, it's so
spot in
great."
town.
Yeah.
And then I started working at Sicily's, and I'm like, oh, this is what real pizza is.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
every time we
geez.
go, even when I lived in New York, they were like, pizza in New York's amazing, and I was like, very few spots are amazing.
I'm spoiled. I lived in South Brooklyn where the best pizza shops are, the oldest pizza shops. So,
Yeah, the real
so pizza
ones.
to me,
The
yeah,
real
where
ones.
where it's like the same recipes
Yes.
for 100 years. Like, you know, it's
That's why I said when I went around, like where I was going, like over by like the Polytechnic University, and they're like, look at this pizza
Yeah.
shop. It's brick oven,
Downtown
and I walk in and I go, but
Brooklyn.
it's not really pizza. It's just like bread, and they throw some shit on it. That's
you gotta go down by like South
Yes.
Brooklyn, like Coney Island
Yes.
and
Yes.
Bay Ridge.
Well, what do you
and
think about the
Bensonhurst
Coney
and stuff.
Island dog?
I knew that was coming.
It's not. It's, I think it might have been good years ago.
Yeah, what is that? The
Yeah.
with the yellow and green
Nathan's hot
logo,
dogs.
Nathan's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nathan's.
I don't hate the name.
I used to go down to Coney
No,
Island
it's
to
a good
get
name.
sausage sandwich.
yeah. The
Yeah.
sausage
Down
and
there.
peppers are
Yeah,
good. Down
See,
there.
then sometimes I'll go down that road too, where I'm like, you just steer away from the hot dog because then they have sausage and pepper.
Oh yeah, it's.
I love food.
I used to hang
hard
out
to
in Coney
screw up
Island all the
sausage.
time. Coney Island's the spot. Man.
I'm fucking starving
I was
now. I
just
just want to eat hot
recently,
dogs.
believe it or not, I was out in Wisconsin recently, and this is the first time I've indulged myself in cheese curds.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's
And,
real cheese from Wisconsin's.
Here's the thing.
You don't like it?
No,
You're lactose intolerant?
No, I love. I had a lot of them, and I really.
You don't go to the bathroom?
No, I liked them. They were great, but I like overdid it.
Yeah.
To where I'm like, when I was done, I was like, I don't think I want to see another cheese curd for a little while.
Yeah.
But then there was also like, there were friends that were out there that we ended up talking, friends of friends, and I'm talking to one girl, and she was like, "Oh, how are the cheese curds?" I was like, "Oh, you mean the mozzarella sticks?" And she was like,
Butt hurt immediately.
Yeah.
"That is not a." I was like, "What are you doing?" Listen, no offense. I was like, "It's a mozzarella stick cut in half
With a different type
and
of
they
cheese.
just put a different cheese in it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is.
But you know what?
But it's also great.
Yeah.
But Wisconsin, yeah, they have really good cheese and milk. If you drink
Yeah,
their
well,
regular milk, I don't know what it is. Like I've had milk from the fucking dairy here,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, it's all right. You go to Wisconsin, it's
milk.
fucking perfect.
Wisconsin, really
Buy
good
that
milk,
online.
really good cheese, no internet.
Yeah.
It's Wisconsin. They just eat cheese and drink
no
milk.
internet.
No
They do
internet,
weird stuff
no
out
TV.
there. But
Yes.
it was overall the experience was pretty cool.
What'd you guys go out there for? Work?
Yeah, I went out with my girlfriend. Actually, her sister lives out in Wisconsin.
Oh, that's
so,
cool.
We were out in Madison, Wisconsin. So it was pretty cool. We saw a college hockey game and went around there. Went to a couple breweries. It's pretty awesome because like Harley Davidson's out there, the
Yeah.
museum's out there. I drove past it.
Did you take the tour over
Test
here in
Big Ben.
Harleysville?
And where?
There's a Harleysville. There used to be a factory. I don't even know what they do with it anymore.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, in Pennsylvania,
we
they got a
skipped
whole
that
tour.
part.
Listen, I took the tour. It's probably still there. They were doing At the time, they were doing most of the stuff for the baggers. They'd make there.
Huh.
You're a big tour guy.
Yeah. Well,
on
no.
tours.
We were really bored, and I was like, we're gonna do a tour. So my wife wanted to do something, and I was like, let's go to the Harley place.
Oh yeah.
And they literally give you a headset, and you walk through the whole thing, and the guy talks to you the whole time, and you're like, you get to see the dudes like they put the whole thing together. So like we're doing the cop like baggers.
Yeah.
So they're reassembled, and he's like, here's the guy testing, and he's just fucking laying on it. I'm like, this is great, and it's
Wide open.
dude. It's fucking awesome. Yeah. It is. It's a
And
really
where's
cool
that, where's
thing.
that at?
I think it was I swear it was Harleyville.
Like
they named
Harley's,
it-
like
I'll tell you in a second.
in Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania.
Like out 70? Is that out 78?
It's fucking.
I don't even know the last time I went
I
on a
assume
tour.
if you did that, did you go to the Pat Garrett Amphitheater?
Oh my god, I love the sheepskin
Oh,
place.
sheepskin everything, man.
I really want to go down there and film stuff.
Sheepskin everything.
They have like a little hotel you
Yeah.
can stay at there.
Pat Garrett's Amphitheater. He's got you can go online and he has a single or two. It's been up for a while. Maybe it's down now. I don't know. It's not
He has music.
Yeah. He's a country music star. What about the railroad place there too on 78?
What's the railroad place?
Is it Roadside America?
Roadside America, baby.
Yeah.
That's just I
Man, when I
always
was a
want to
kid-
like go there. I see
Loving it.
but I don't
Loving
really
it.
want to. But I want to.
Yep. I did a lot of stuff with like Boy Scouts back in the day. Cub
Yeah.
Scouts. So we did a lot of that cool anthracite coal mines, Penn's Cave.
I just did the
So
Derby cars and Lost.
So it's Harley.
Pinewood
The
Derbies.
ones with the weights.
Oh
Six-time
yeah, Pinewood Derby, man.
Not to brag, 6-time champion.
Whoa.
You know, I was best of show
I'd like
champion.
to see some trophies.
Went
I, was,
Districts,
I got the
I got
best of
them
show
all.
trophy.
Got them all.
Me and my dad would always.
Yeah.
My car never won a race ever, but it looked way
Yeah.
better. Than everybody
Yeah,
else's.
mine always looked good, and then it
My dad
didn't
was a
work
big
right.
model car guy,
Yeah.
so he had all
Yeah, he
the
made,
paints and stuff. We had
yeah,
decals and stuff.
yeah.
I'd take half of Lego guys and I'd put the upper half in there.
Yeah.
Be like,
And then my wheel wouldn't move. And
it wouldn't go down the track.
Turn sideways.
Mark's met my dad, so you could imagine how the Pinewood Derby went. We had a
His dad
track set
probably
up.
made the cars.
He made a track in his shop, and we tested. We had 6
Oh,
cars
wow.
that we ran every year, and we tested them.
I wish
is
my dad would have
strict-
cheated and we would have like weighted it.
Yeah.
Like there was definitely parents that did that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I just wonder where my life would have went differently learning how to cheat as a
looks
child.
Back, he's like,
That shit happens, man.
Boy
Yeah, it's in
Scouts
York.
is nuts
York.
now.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, all right.
It's Harleysville.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got banks out there too, right? Harleysville
It's the
National Bank.
it's
Harleysville National Bank.
Harley Davidson York vehicle operations.
That's pretty cool.
So they do Sportster, Softails, Trikes, CVO.
That's kind of neat.
It's awesome. And
Yeah,
they're doing the
I-
electric shit there now too.
Yeah, those things are really
Which when my buddy works at Harley and I just called him a fucking turncoat because he's like, check it out, I'm on the electric bike, and I go, really?
They're like,
And he
hey,
goes, no, it's cool. Like I can work on these now, and I go, really? I want to hear it fucking start up.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, you just kind of turn the key. It's really, really fast though. And I go,
don't hear
so are
anything.
sports bikes, you fucking
Believe it or not.
turncoat.
Harley's like, yeah, this would be a great idea. Let's make this electric bike. Also,
Yeah.
let's make it affordable here. $35,000.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like anything want to fucking fix.
I'll tell you what, they're
Hundreds of
cool.
dollars.
They're cool though. There's
Sure.
no denying that.
There's a certain, I don't know, just makes you feel cool when you're on them.
Yeah, I agree.
I never rode one.
I had one, I sold it, and I gotta get another.
Never.
I
No.
protested once outside of the.
Stop it.
Stop it.
You're gonna be outside Pot's Hot Dogs now. Stop it. Went to Yakko's.
No
Stop
way!
it.
I'll just go to all the hot dog places. I don't discriminate on a hot dog. I don't even mind a boiled hot dog.
Listen, we got the hookup too.
My
If you-
dad used to
My
boil
dog.
hot
Yeah.
dogs for us.
My parents used to boil
My-
the hot dogs back
I was
my
a
boss-
spam guy.
I like spam as
No,
well.
my boss goes to Chicago. He goes to the Vienna factory,
Oh,
Vienna sausage, and they
I
sell.
like the fingers.
They sell.
That's where I draw the line. Is
Ditka.
the Vienna.
No, you don't eat
Vienna.
those, but they make Ditka hot Polish sausage.
Well, that
Oh,
sounds.
okay.
That
They
sounds
are
fantastic.
fucking delightful.
That sounds.
And everybody was like, "Oh man, they're really expensive." He brings them back, and last time he brought me a case, and we had him down
Yeah,
here.
he-
He has the roller.
Yeah, because I have the hot
So
dog.
the hot dog roller, so
from
we
the
had to
old
go into
bar.
that, and the whole show, everybody just kept looking over because you could smell like the peppers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hot sauce.
No, they were. It made me
Delightful.
think that I would probably buy sausages and like have them mailed to me.
Yeah.
Like I've never been the person that's been like, oh, I think I would get food and have it dry iced and mailed. But after eating that, I was like,
It's worth
I
it.
definitely would spend money on
investing in
sausages.
sauce.
It's weird stuff. Because even my wife yelled at me today. She goes, "What is this? What's this charge?" I ordered hot sauce from Heatonist.
Yeah,
from,
yeah.
From First We Feast.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, I'm ordering hot sauce." She goes, "You're seriously just gonna order hot sauce in the mail?"
Have you tried it? Is it?
I've had it.
No,
It's-
I just
it's
ordered it
good.
today. I just ordered it today.
I mean, I had it. It was gone fast. It's
I
like
didn't get the
good
hottest
flavor
one. I
to
got
it.
I got theirs, the
The
Los
ones that got-
Calientes, the both of them.
One of them has like a sweet pineapple type feel.
Yeah,
to it.
there's two. There's a red and there's a
show,
yellow. So I got the red and the yellow.
Great
Yeah.
show. But now he's doing like some weird game.
A weird-
show
it
where
looks
it's gonna-
stupid.
It's gonna just.
It looks stupid.
Yeah.
Dumb.
They have a shop in
My parents
New
will
York.
be
I haven't
into
been
it,
to
and that'll be
yet.
the end of the show.
No, they say when you go into the spot in New York, it's either you walk in, it's just wall to wall, just bottles.
Really?
And you can sample everything, but I just
It wasn't even bad to get it shipped either when I got it. Like it was
$6 flat.
affordable. Whatever.
flat rate $6. So, but I got like $45.
We just went off on a.
No, yeah. I want to wrap up. I know he's got kids and it's late and stuff.
boy.
And we're probably over an hour and a half.
Yep.
Yeah. So I wanted to give you guys a chance to plug any way that anyone can get a hold of you guys to do any projects that they'd be interested in as far as embroidery, just apparel, or getting anything wrapped.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Do you want to?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I did it the first time.
Scribbles and Drips. You can find us at scribblesandrips.com. Email is info@scribblesandrips.com. Our phone number is 610-767-3692. Go to our website, scribblesandrips.com. Check out our portfolio. It really gives you some great examples of what we can do. And anything that you might think of, ask us if we can provide that for you. If it's wraps, if it's screen printing, embroidery, promotional items, marketing, branding. If you need something for your company to look good, hit us up, because we'll accomplish that for you, and we'll have a really long relationship.
And custom stuff.
Custom.
And then what?
Custom.
Instagram has a lot of your work on
Scribbles
it.
and
Scribbles
Drips
Apparel.
Instagram,
Yep.
Facebook, Scribbles and Drips, and Scribbles and Drips Apparel.
Yeah.
So it's all there.
Doug's very good with populating the Scribbles Apparel page.
Yeah.
We are lacking on the other end as far as well, we put cool stuff.
Well, you're busy.
Yeah, we're busy.
No,
So.
I like both the social media. It's not boring. You guys are doing different stuff all the time. Sometimes I was just like, damn, they're doing that.
Yeah.
Like it's, like I said, you guys are super motivational for me to see where you're at as a business. I would love to pick your boss's brain, even if it's not on here. But I do want to have a lengthy conversation with him.
Yeah,
I feel like
he
I
loves
would
that
learn
stuff,
so
yeah.
much. But like I said, I wanted to thank you guys for coming on. You have a powerhouse behind you that started that business. I think you guys are lucky to that's awesome that you guys even get that much knowledge and all that to change your lives, to make you better people. Like I said, I would love to have him on, and we should try and do it. If not, I definitely want to do a project, whether it's the gun or we find something to do where we can do like just kind of push something on social media, whether it's something stupid like a hot dog, or we find out what we could work with. But I don't know. I want to talk to Bill as well, and I think there's things that we could do together where like having something either here or there, and then just kind of do like an open house just to get more people.
We've been talking about
knowledgeable
that for a long time, and we just got so busy. Like we've never really had an open house at the new shop, and we always something we
I still want to do the air
So
hockey tournament.
Oh boy,
The bubble hockey.
hockey, man.
Yeah.
Look out.
That would be fun. It would be so much fun to film that, and it's just
that would be
content
a
to
lot of
push on
When
social
our
media.
renovations are done and everything's looking nice and polished, let's do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I want to do something like that, and then have like a hot dog cookout or something, and then just like push
everything,
cross over everything that we're doing with what you guys are doing.
We got the grill. You bring the dogs, man.
All right.
You can go to Yako's and get a pack. They get the grill.
Thanks to our sponsor, Potsy's Hot Dogs.
I don't think they'd sponsor us.
We'd also like to thank Yako's Hot Dogs.
Yeah, Yako's. Thank you
Just
for all
hot
the good
dogs in
food.
general.
The better dog.
The better dog. That's what I like to say.
Thank you again, and you can check out all their stuff at scribblesandrips.com. And that's it. I don't know how to end the shows anymore, and I panic right before it, and this is what you got.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
blast.
you. I guess just thank you. Do you want to say anything?
Nope. Bye.
Take it easy.
There was like 2 episodes where I was like...